Alright, now, can you all hear me as well? Is the microphone working? I don't know what's going on here. This is the first time trying this shit. How are we looking mic-wise? Fuck, how do I actually see the chat while I watch the video? Yeah, this is interesting. I have to work this shit out. Can anyone hear me? I need a confirmation that anyone can actually hear the shit that I'm saying, though. Okay, sweet. Thanks, legends. Okay, there's a bit of a delay, apparently. I don't know why I'm fucking typing to you when I can just talk, apparently. So, I don't know how to actually watch the video and type at the same time. Because I'm fucking stupid. And, pretty stoned at the moment. I've got a fan in the background. If there's a problem, let me know. And I'll turn the fan off. Because it's hot as shit in Thailand where I am, so... Oh, mate, you're too good. Too much of a legend, mate. I tell you, after YouTube reamed me in the last week, that's pretty handy, so thanks, mate. Abel, yeah, I've been told, mate. I've got the same fat head. If I had hair, I'd look exactly like him. Put on some yellow sunglasses and I'm good to go. Alright, now I'm trying to work out how the fuck to do this. Bear with me a second, because how do I do the chat shit? Oh, yeah. There's a watch party coming, but I'm trying to work out how I can watch the damn video on the screen and talk to you all at the same time without fucking it up, I guess. I can read it. I guess probably do it from my phone, I guess. I don't know. I might have to do it like that. I might just have to like look at the live chat on my phone and then we watch the doco, because the doco is awesome. It's fucking brilliant. Alright, I might do it like that. So can y'all see Big Papa Fatso on the screen right now? Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Big Papa Wombat on the screen. Can y'all see him? Someone give me a yay if they can. There's a bit of a delay. Okay, so you can all see Big Papa. This documentary was done by this guy called Patrick Garvey, right? Fatso on the screen right now. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Big Papa. Patrick Garvey. This guy does like MMA fight videos, but the one he did on Seagal is just absolutely phenomenal. All right, so we're gonna watch it, and obviously I'm gonna stop. By the way, I just want to say thank you all legends for actually bothering to turn up to this shit and for all your support. It's phenomenal. As you can see, I'm just a dickhead making videos, drinking and smoking and having a bit of fun, because you know the world is shit and it needs a bit of levity, and that's what we bring. Every time I see a new person come into the community and read the comments, they fucking love it. So you guys are all legends. I'm just having some local Thai beverage, let's call it. All right. So again, this guy Patrick Garvey, it is a legendary documentary. Now I've seen I've seen a lot of documentaries, right, about Seagal. Sunny V2 dropped one recently. No, it's not about the Anderson Silva kick. It's about Seagal in general. This guy just did a legendary documentary. Trust me, it's worth the watch. We're going to watch it now. Sunny V2 did one, but that was just a basic one. There's been a few ones. Infographics has done one. A few people have done it. But this guy, the way he tied it all in, and he didn't even talk that much. And thank you, some guy with a guitar. You're a legend. He didn't talk that much, but fuck, he made an awesome documentary. I am in Thailand, Bastian. I'm in Thailand, living remotely at the moment. Yeah, it was all going quite well until about 4 days ago when I woke up and my views had just been tanked. Literally within a space of an hour, they just tanked from down 90%, which was interesting. Now, again, obviously I don't do it just for the views, but I mean, if I'm going to do it, it's nice to get the views. But yeah, like I said, it is what it is. I'm still going to keep making videos. Fuck YouTube. But yeah, so I'm in Thailand at the moment. I'll go back to Australia for a visit at some point. But anyway, enough gas bagging. Now, do y'all want to get into this shit, or do you want to talk a little bit more? Because I'm happy to do whatever. At this point, I'm about 3/4 of a bottle down, and a few, yeah, that's it, Bastian, you're a legend. A few beverages down, and a few joints in the fucking pocket as well, so I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Thailand's pretty awesome, Mazar. I'm not going to lie, mate. It's, yeah, it's pretty good. It's all right. You are correct. My niece is actually born on the same fucking day as Seagal. Obviously not the same year. But my niece, my brother's daughter, is actually born on the same day. So how lucky is she? She's blessed by the same birthday as Seagal. Which is, yeah. I'm drinking, I don't know if I can show this on YouTube or not. It's called Sang Som. It's like a local Thai beverage. Let's call it a beverage. DZ, good to see you here, mate. Drunken Zombie, been a long time support. Humongous as well, thanks, mate. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, thanks, Humongous. I appreciate it, mate. Adam, thanks, champ. Legend. Yeah, hit that bong, cat. Hit that bong. I'm not really a bong smoker myself. I'm more of a joint man. I like to roll me old, just get the old papers and the old oregano and make it like that. Nah, is that Bastian? Yeah, look, mate, I'm trying to live a normal life like I would in Australia, but obviously the Thai way. I'll tell you the main difference between the Thais and the Aussies is they take each day as it comes and they enjoy each other. They enjoy hanging out, talking to each other, eating, drinking. Whereas in the Western world, I'm from Australia, obviously, we worry about tomorrow. So we come home, you got an hour to go to the gym, have some dinner, and then you're rinsing and repeating again. Whereas here, yeah, they might be a bit poorer, but honestly, they still they enjoy themselves and they enjoy the moment, because as much as that cliche sounds, and I just came back from Australia burying my cousin who was 44. Today is guaranteed, tomorrow isn't. As much as that is a cliche, to some extent you gotta hold stock in that, and yeah, and the Thais do it a little bit better than we do in that sense. Gave up spilled bong water for a pipe. That's cute. Yeah, good on you, Humongous. Smoke one up, son. Nah, there are a lot of Thai bogans here. Who's that? Matthew Hopkins. No Thai bogans, mate. Just Aussie bogans who now think they're Thai. Yeah, good on you, cat. I'll roll one up somewhere along the way, but for now we'll just what have I got? I got Oreo King and fucking Silver Haze. Bastian, smoke whenever you want, mate. You don't need anybody to tell you when to smoke. Put that fucking joint in your mouth and light it up, son. Don't worry about 3, 2, 1. Hit that shit when you want. By the way, I was hoping to get double figures, 10 people, so I'll take 61. That's not too bad. Oh, he doesn't use the fart. I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's no fart pose, unfortunately. I would have liked if Patrick used some of my footage, like the fart pose, but all right. I don't know what the fuck. What's this Pentagon fart inhaler slam poetry? I don't know what's going on there. That guy's obviously off his tits on something. You need to start vaping the weed, not smoking in paper. It's much healthier. Yeah, look, man, I had some vapes at one point, and here's the thing: some of them taste alright. I used to have a dry herb vape in Australia, where I'd actually put the weed in, and the element would heat up and shit, and it would heat up the whole thing. Let's see if the camera's alright. Yeah, we're good. But then I came to Thailand. They don't have dry herb vapes. They've only got that resin shit, and what's the difference? It's all fucked up anyway. That's it, cat. Seagalians unite. Jay. Alright. You didn't get sent on an identical mission as mine to whack a certain... I don't know. Fuck, some of you guys are really smoking some good shit. Alright. Now, I reckon we should get into the documentary because, again, it's fucking hilarious. So I'm going to start it now. As long as everything's working and shit, I'm just going to fucking press play. Again, this guy released this shit on April Fool's Day, which doesn't really mean shit in Australia, but I think it's like April the 1st or whatever. Fucking brilliant. So, alright. I'm going to stop it every now and again to say some shit, obviously, and I want to hear you guys chime in. So I'm going to stick my phone right there so I can see the comments as oh shit. I'm going to stick my phone... Oh, you're about to witness slow down. Alright, I'm going to stick my phone on. Alright, let's do this. Everyone get your joints and shit ready. Get your glasses ready, because we're about to watch the greatest documentary of Sensei Pufferfish that's ever been made. Thus far. Hopefully, maybe we can surpass him one day, but this guy, he did some fucking legendary work. Patrick Garvia, you're a champion, mate. So, let's do it.
Most lethal mixed martial artist in the world in action.
Okay, I love how he points on his nose for him to hit. I know that's part of the thing, but every time I see this fucker doing demonstrations, he's always doing that shit where he's pointing for the... That's not how shit works on the street. But anyway, I digress.
If the other man wants to live, he better tap. Good. Here he is in his prime. Admire the precision, the speed of his movements. See how they all fall like flies. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I've seen this man before. Because just like me,
you grew up watching him on TV. He was so cool. I've never seen someone fight like that.
Cool.
Run like that.
Get him, man.
Talk like
Is that better now? Is that volume better now?
What bank?
To the blood bank.
Whoa.
Alright, I need a confirmation on the volume. Are we good with the volume, or what's the speed mean? What does that mean by the speed? Again, this is the first time I'm doing this shit, so I don't know what's happening here. What's the problem? I turned the volume down. Are we good with volume, or is that still shit? And then Kurak Burak wrote the speed. What does the speed mean? Okay, Mazar, volume's fine. Alright, good. America, no one's seen Richie yet, but we're getting there. Warpig, are we still loud, or is it alright now? Everyone decide right now. I'm going to play like a 30
but
seconds.
I knew nothing.
He is an expert in everything.
A police officer, acupuncturist, musician, Secret Service agent, UFC guru, mobster, Buddhist god. Or was it all a cover for something much darker happening on our screens all along? A journey so twisted that it takes us to the very essence of one fundamental question. What is truth?
This is the most difficult thing for me to talk about because I could make something up that would sound better. The truth is just too hard to believe for everybody.
I was born from a mother who was found in a shoebox when she was born. My mother was American Indian.
Are you of Italian descent?
Yeah, I have some Italian on my mother's side and some French.
My mother was a Mohawk. I think that my mother's side is probably Irish.
My grandmother surely looks pure Mohawk, and I'm pretty sure she is.
Grandmother in your lineage that is Mongolian?
They look like Russian Mongols, but I don't know what they are, but they're something Asian. Father is a Russian Mongol. Part of his family are from Texas, so
Let's put it this way. I'm Russian.
I'm a lot more Asian than I am American.
I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian.
Mongolian, and we don't really know
That's
which
a fucking
tribe it
legend.
is, and all of those people are dead now, so I can't ask them.
I love how he's cracking the shit because, I mean, honestly, we all know it. The guy's just Irish Jewish. That's what he is. He's Irish Jewish. But he fucking helps on like he's from everywhere. And I actually saw a couple of clips then that I haven't seen. And I've seen a lot of shit. This guy actually found a lot. Like, he does some real in-depth shit. Like, I dive into Seagal. But this guy's got like a team. That's what happens when you got like 400,000 subs. You can pay people to help you, right? This guy's got like producers and shit. Obviously, you can tell by the quality. But, but he found some shit that I haven't yet to come across now. And I was quite impressed. So, obviously, I saved this. And I'll use some of the clips and quotes that I get from Seagal from this. But, yeah, man, there's levels to shit, yeah. Like, I make some shit and I put clips together and I try and slow it down and edit it. And I'm a basic novice at this stuff, but there's levels to shit. And, yeah, hopefully I can get to the point one day, if YouTube allows me, where I can actually, ideally one of you guys who know how to do it, bring you on board and actually pay someone who's part of the community to help me do this stuff. But anyway, we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. But yeah, this guy's a legend. I love how he's getting sick. Now watch this now.
Asian, I don't know what the hell I am, but am I allowed to cuss on this show? Or?
I'm a Russian Mongol.
Texas, so I'm not more Asian than I am.
This is a story. That's fucking great.
Where were you born?
Michigan.
Great state, Michigan.
Not too many people out there from Michigan, huh? But in Detroit, everybody had come out of the Deep South to work in the steel mills. In my neighborhood, it was all Delta people from the Deep South.
You talked a little bit about being exposed to the blues growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing music almost before I started anything. And I've been playing since I was a baby. B.B. King was like a father to me. B.B. taught me a lot about life. I was lucky enough to meet and play with most of the great blues legends of America. I don't know what color I am, but I know one thing. I was the only one that wasn't black that I knew that played exactly like them. Because the essence of blues is story. Any great director, the first thing...
Don't you love... What the fuck? I love how he really buys into the fact that he's some kind of master musician, right? Now, I did a video about Guitar Hero, Guitar Zero, and It wasn't really definitive whether or not he could play or not. Some of you said he could. Some of you said he could do basics. Some of you said he's alright. Some of you said he's shit. So I didn't really get a definitive answer on that. I think he can do some basic shit, but I don't think he'd be rocking the guitar by himself. But he really, his number one passion though, honestly, is music before martial arts even. I know that. Like, obviously he's a deadly martial artist, and you don't want to fuck with Seagal. We know that. But you also don't want to be on stage with him because he might just upstage you. So his number one passion is music. Obviously, as a black man, and the blues was his wheelhouse as an African American, part African American.
What you have to learn is how to tell a story, and that's the first thing a blues man have to do is tell a story. I was born clairvoyant. I was born a healer. I was born very different. I never ever thought I was anything special. I just thought I'm just a simple country boy. I'm just a guy.
In an interview with People magazine, Steven's own mother described him as a frail, puny kid who's...
Well, she's clearly a bitch and doesn't know who she's talking about because, I mean, Stephen was not frail or fragile or puny. He was, look at him. Just, she had no idea who he was going to become, clearly. I mean, that lady needs to, no disrespect to you, Mrs. Seagal, but just check yourself, yeah?
Suffered from asthma.
Stephen, has anybody ever bullied you, like from when you were a kid? Do you have any memories of that happening?
Can you beep what I say if I...
Yes, honey.
I've had an ass whooping once or twice when I was young.
Oh, there you go.
Until one event would change the course of his life.
When I was young, I saw the martial arts being demonstrated at a football halftime.
And during the halftime, they had these Japanese masters come out. And I saw this little old man throwing people around like they were, feathers. And I looked at my father and I said, Daddy, that's what I was born to do.
Bullshit. He was eating cookies, and his dad fucking looked at him, and that's when he said, Daddy, that's what I was born to do.
My dream was to be one of the best martial artists in the world. In America, there are very few dojos in the 50s.
Asian masters are usually cooks in hotels and restaurants and stuff like that, and so sort of lied about my age and got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. One of the cooks there was a guy called Sakamoto Sensei, and he saw that when I was washing the dishes and moving around that I moved very fast. And I said, do you know karate? And he said, yes, I do. Why do you ask? Is there any way you would teach me?
Hold up. So he was washing dishes, and some karate bloke saw him and thought, fuck, you know what? This kid could be the most deadliest warrior in the world. I better teach him some shit. Just by watching him fucking scrub some dishes or put a fucking tray into a machine. Makes sense.
Karate. And he said, And he started making me do something called the makiwara. And you just punch that makiwara and you learn how to punch for about 2 years. And I kept saying to him, I see you have other students here. I want to fight them. And he said, why don't you learn how to punch before you want to fight?
And when you fight, you will fight to destroy. And if they die, that's fine.
So I just thought, no.
Again, I love listening to him talk about fighting people to the death and shit. Now, again, I've never fought anyone to the death. I've been in my scraps as I have. It's never been filmed and broadcast, so I'm no better than Steven Seagal. But I don't go around harping on about how I'm some deadly fucking martial arts master. That's the difference. And a 10th fucking 25th Dan Aikido and 75th Dan fucking Cookido, whatever else he fucking does.
Nobody's gonna beat me. And nobody did.
How old were you when you went to Japan?
Probably when I went to live there, I was about 17 years old.
Wow.
I wanted to study the martial arts and the mysticism and healing arts.
And did you have a job there, or were you just there studying, or a little of both?
Started out studying martial arts, acupuncture, herbology, bone manipulation, things like that.
And started studying mostly Aikido.
Here's the thing. This was like the fucking late 60s, early 70s. He could have said whatever the fuck he wanted, and there's no documentation of shit back then. No one can verify anything. No one can say shit. He could have said he was a fucking unicorn who shit gold, and no one could disprove it because there's no Google. There's no way to verify shit. So he's literally a fucking yes, I believe him. Obviously, I believe him. But if I was a skeptical son of a bitch, I might not.
And there's a reason why I chose Aikido as my art, and I have, because it is, movement that is...
You chose Aikido as your art because you don't have to do a lot of shit. There's not a lot of physical stuff involved. It's very short and minimal movement, which you're saying is efficiency, but it's really just laziness.
In harmony with the universe. The founder of Aikido was also a mystic, you know. He developed an art where there was no punching, kicking, blocking, and he believed that he could develop this art in such a way that you could redirect the attack of someone, put them down and pin them without, you know, beating them up or breaking their neck or their bones.
I was able to meet one of my closest friends, Isoyama Sensei.
彼と会ったのは愛木神社で初めて会ったんですけども、その時彼はね、若いにもかかわらず
I grew up in a very, very dangerous area, an area that was all gangsters, yakuza, fighting every day. ああ、よかったんだな。ね。重曹面白かったね、重曹。
Okay, so apparently, according to his wife, his ex-wife, who may have some grudge against him, he never fought anyone other than a few drunks that came to the restaurant and caused trouble. So he wasn't fighting against Yakuza, he wasn't repelling attacks from deadly fucking combatants, apparently, allegedly. So depending on who you want to believe, Seagal, who has a history of telling the truth, or his ex-wife, some quiet Japanese lady who obviously would lie for the sake of it.
Hundreds of times we've had to use this in the streets, and that's how you know what works and what doesn't.
But the thing is, Seagal was a legit Aikido specialist. He's good, man. I mean, not good. He's outstanding.
Enters Steven's wife. The first one.
I think he was married to the daughter of one of the main senseis or somebody. So he was like deep in the culture.
Yeah, I became
no one's using swords anymore, bro. She was useful 500 years ago, maybe.
Teach over there.
Steven teaches at the gym of Miyako's family. They have 2 kids together.
And then for the first couple of years, people did come from all over Japan, as I said, to challenge me.
For a non...
Just for the record, he married that lady and basically used her, by all accounts, used her, took her money to fly back to America without her and the family to then pursue a Hollywood career, allegedly. Basically milked her dry, came over to Hollywood, was banging Adriana LaRosso, married her while he was still married to the chick in Japan who gave all her money over for him to go to America. And then while he was married to Adriana LaRosso and to the Japanese chick, he then started banging Kelly LeBrock, which baffles me how that even happened. But it is what it is. So, yeah, his Japanese wife copped at the poor bitch, unfortunately.
Oriental, to teach them their arts. Sure. I mean, that was an outrage to them. There was one time...
Yeah, he was a choreographer on the fucking Frieza and Goku fight that took 8 days. He didn't know how fights actually work.
This guy says, you know, I would like to sign up for a duel to the death with you. I thought, me, man, this is the guy. This guy gotta be a master. And then I thought, I'm gonna kill him. And I attacked. And I was in the air flying. And I got closer to him, and I realized he was just a drunk.
That's unbelievable.
And I'm already committed, you know. And I'm kind of trying to put the brakes on, but I hitting him, and he was in the air, out the door, and tumbling for 20 fucking feet, and then he's unconscious. And my wife thinks I did kill him, and she screamed, "You killed him! You killed him!" Those 15 years.
Yeah, that sounds believable as shit. He thought he was confronting the person who thought attacked his master or killed his master, right? He was mid-fly kick in the air about to kill this guy who he thought killed his master, but he had to pull back on the kick because he realized it was just some random drunk dude, not the guy who killed... I mean, this sounds like some fucking... Anyway, alright.
18 years or 19 years, whatever it was.
I love you, Stephen.
Those are the greatest years of my life.
This is why there's a channel dedicated to this
secret
motherfucker
American
and not
organization
someone else.
Had other plans.
Were you drafted by an agency or someone that wanted to take advantage of your fact that you were an American and a martial artist and someone who may have known the country?
Something like that.
Something like that. Did you or did you not work with the CIA?
Well, you know, it's kind of a personal thing, Dave. It's a little... It's tough to talk about.
You can't talk about it? So that means you were with the CIA.
Like that, Gary. That head on Seagal.
The kind of stuff that I did, you know, which wasn't for the CIA.
Was just, I did special security operations and bodyguarding and investigations. Special guided tours in bad areas and stuff like that, and so...
He showed people where the safest McDonald's was, basically. That's what his job was.
I had learned how to act then in order to stay alive.
Did you ever kill anybody?
Oh, man.
Did you ever take anybody out? Dim the lights? Face down in the grave?
Martha, you are...
I'm just wondering.
You're on my hit list now.
After completing several assignments, Steven convinces his wife to empty her life savings to help him return to America. Little did Steven know, his involvement with the CIA would lead to something much bigger.
In 1985, I came back to America. That's one date that I remember.
I'd come back to America and
Kill the guy?
also teaching the martial arts.
All right.
And
So you came back here as a teacher.
Notice how he doesn't deny when everyone talks about him killing or being a badass. Or he just walks right into it and embraces it as if that shit's true. Even if it's total dog shit, he just walks right into it and just doesn't turn it down. Fuck, I love you, Seagal.
Steven opens a dojo, but also starts working in Hollywood as a fight choreographer.
We're going to do a film called Never Say Never Again. And there was a possibility I was going to do Aikido and what have you. And I got hold of Steven and we had this training and I did that. And he broke my wrist. Wow. And, oh yeah.
Broken wrist and elbow.
Seagalism is a religion, mate. I'm working on it, Bastian. I'm working on it. YouTube's not helping me, but I'm working on it.
Michael Ovitz came over to my dojo.
And I found that these tremendously powerful guy at that time in Hollywood.
And it's really wild because people like Mike Ovitz, who was like the power agent of all of Hollywood in the 80s, Mike got a black belt training with Seagal. Like, he was really serious.
That's why he gave him the job.
And he said, hey man, I want to introduce you to Terry Semmel, who is the head of Warner Brothers Motion Pictures. Terry Semmel said, okay, we're going to make you the next great Kung Fu star. And I said, Terry, there's been 5,000 Kung Fu movies. I don't want to make a Kung Fu movie. I want to show the world Aikido.
Nico has a 6th-degree black belt in Aikido. Nico's a cop with a bad attitude.
Hey, say what you will, though. Those early movies weren't that bad. I mean, at least he moved and did shit in them, including the running. But at least those movies weren't that bad. And like Michael Joe White said, though, is he doing anything that your fucking dad can't do? Or even your granddad, probably, really? I mean, your granddad doesn't have that kind of hair.
That was marketable, that wasn't out there, that people really respond to, and they keep responding to it.
I loved Above the Law, that Steven Seagal movie. When he people up at a bar, like, you believed it. He's cracking people over the head with pool cues and breaking their arms.
I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, when have you ever seen this in a movie?
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it. It changed action cinema forever.
It was a huge box office success.
Did it really, though? I mean, did it really... Hold on. Did it really change action cinemas forever? Or did it just mean that people who weren't actually... I don't know. Fighters could then become martial artists and actors? What does it mean it fucking changed cinema forever? He wasn't doing anything different. He was just throwing people through shit. The only reason it probably looked better is because he was actually assaulting the stuntmen and then he wasn't pulling his punches. That's why.
Never been done.
Above the Law was dope. All that shit was
And
dope.
I never was an actor either.
After Justice,
autobiographical in segments.
Well, I'm not going to get into that, but I will say that I believe it was based on a true story, which had to do with the Iran-Contra.
What would people at, say, the agency, if they saw this film, what would they think about it?
You're talking about the...
He stole this from, I can't remember the guy's name, but I did a video on
They look at it
that.
and say, well, that's
He
pretty
stole
good.
this story from some other guy who was actually in the CIA, funnily enough.
You were compared, though, after the first film to Stallone and Schwarzenegger, which I guess I can understand in this town. What's the difference in you and those kind of guys?
Truthfully, I don't know. I don't know Steven.
No worries, Cole. Good to have you here, man.
Jean-Claude's pretty good.
Do you know Van Damme? No. You heard of him? I mean, he was like a champion somewhere, and right? I mean,
I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anyway.
Alright, so now we're going to get into his little dispute with Van Damme, where he cracked the shits because, Van Damme happened to be good looking, could do the splits and was actually athletic, and Steven Seagal had painted on hair, and he had Kelly LeBrock, but besides that, he didn't have much. So I think he was a bit cut about it.
Steven Seagal is very boring.
He's what?
Boring.
He looks boring.
That menacing, rotten kind of guy image that he projects is largely acting, is it, or not? I see what you're trying to say.
Carries over in his whole life.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Please say hello to the one, the only, Steven Seagal.
Mate, Chuck doesn't talk about anybody. I've never really heard Chuck talk shit about anybody. So if Chuck's coming out, and that guy didn't even put all the clips in, I've got a longer clip of him in my 12 minutes of trashing Seagal video. He talks about how Seagal's basically a dick in real life and, you know, not like a martial artist. Chuck doesn't really speak about anyone. So if you're getting Chuck to come out and say shit, you must be a piece of shit. Cat, there is a... Is it Cat? No. Mizar. There is a clip of Van Damme talking about the incident where he confronted Seagal and Seagal ran away from him, but I couldn't find it. I watched it the other night when I was obviously off my tits high, and I went to go back and find it, but I couldn't find it. So it's somewhere. I'll have to try and find that clip of Van Damme talking about that incident. Anyway.
I mean, it's not like I hate Hollywood as much as it's just I love honor, you know, and I love people who can look at me in the eye.
Coming soon on video. Once upon a time in 2024.
Patrick, this is your future self.
An unsuspecting man was about to have his finances changed forever.
Pay double to the
Well, she said one.
By the way, again, we've been stopping the documentary, so I suggest everyone go back and watch it again at some point, because the guy put a lot of effort in. He's melded it that well that he just uses clips to tell the whole fucking story, which would take so much time and effort. Again, he didn't do it by himself. He'd have a whole team of people doing it, which would... If I could just write the stories and not have to edit the videos, I mean, I could pump out so much, I honestly think, better content, because I could just focus on the script and not so much about the actual editing, which takes so much time. It's so time consuming. But it is a big part of it. I'm not trying to take away from what he's done. He's done an awesome job with this video. But when you have assistants, it makes it a bit easier. But this guy he's a good storyteller. So I suggest you all watch it at some point. Yeah, Space Ice is awesome. I sent an email to Space Ice asking him for a collab, actually, and he didn't get back to me. So I'm assuming he read it and just ignored me and thought, who the fuck is this idiot? I'm not going to bother with him. But, you know, maybe he'll get back to me. Hopefully he will. Go and hassle him about it. I wouldn't mind a collab with him. He's fucking funny. He did some Resident Evil one the other day, which I watched. It was funny. So I'll watch his shit as well.
Once he was gone, he was gone. On top of running the dojo, I had to raise my children. I don't know how we got by. Sometimes we could only afford cheap brown rice for dinner. Although he's still married to Miyako, Steven gets married again in America to Adrienne LaRussa. While he's married to LaRussa, he gets another actress, Kelly LeBrock, pregnant.
Yeah, he did.
Get into that. How did you all meet?
Yeah, we met in Japan. He did acupuncture on me.
He did acupuncture. Is that what he called it?
Thanks, Dev.
Steven's career is flourishing. He partners up with the producer, Julius Nasso, to create Seagal Nasso Productions.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jules Nasso. Don't go nowhere.
Nasso was getting his financing from the Gambino family. That's New York Mafia.
And he says, I got this guy's an actor. You mind if I bring him over? He would love to say hello to you. And sure enough, this tall guy with his hair slicked back with a ponytail,
like a big, bold, fat
Steven Seagal. He said hello to John, said hello to me. Every movie that they did, money was coming in, bringing him.
Yeah, thanks to man with no name.
And he got bigger
and
bigger and bigger.
Surrender Siege was the one that put me on the top.
That was a huge film, wasn't it?
Very successful.
You know what I heard today? That they just got a date for you to do Saturday Night Live to host it?
Apparently.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah, why not?
Now everyone knows how this shit went. How does he pull all these fun? Well, it's called cocaine, being part of Hollywood, and being a 6'5" bully cat. That's how he gets all the ladies. Saturday Night Live, pretty much everyone agrees, was his worst shit. Funny enough, there's always the same footage of Saturday Night Live. Not a lot of people have the actual episode because they've tried to hide it that much.
New York, and it's great to be opening up Saturday Night Live.
By the way, I was there when he hosted SNL, one of the most famous nightmare, can't re-show that show ever.
You pitched him a sketch that you had written.
Seagal read it and he said, if I do this sketch, if I do it, I have to beat them up.
Yeah.
When he came in, we wrote it, we did it at read-through, and all of it was them making fun of Steven.
So what about this guy, Steven Seagal? I hear me now and believe me later. Arnold could easily rip Steven Seagal's skinny little arms.
Like, Arnold is stronger than you.
I mean, even if you go back, look at the background. Look at his fucking face in the background there. Just look at him. He's just got a dick look on his face. Like, no part of him is enjoying it. I'm sure he's supposed to be acting tough, but he's not acting. He's just got a dick douchey look on his face because he really believes his shit doesn't stink.
Steven Seagal's skinny little arms.
Like, Arnold is stronger than you.
To even compare them to Arnold. Look at me, Franz, I'm laughing.
And we go through it with the cue cards. He reads his lines, very serious. Then he just walks off. So I went up to him. I said, Steven, are you okay? And he just didn't look at me. He's looking straight forward. He goes, I just wish Arnold was here so I could kick his ass.
So what does that mean? He didn't understand the sketch?
Well, I told him, I said, they're idiots. Doesn't mean you're weaker than Arnold. These guys just worship Arnold.
I don't want to compare myself to these other stars. They're great and everything like that. But what I do is unique. You know what I'm saying?
He couldn't make fun of himself.
So we did the sketch different so that he was, there's only one person stronger than Arnold, and that's Steven Seagal.
I mean, what a huge surprise. Seagal won't allow himself to be, you know, deprecated anyway to anyone to put him down. He just can't. No part. You know what the funny thing was? If he actually just allowed himself to take the piss out of himself, he could have been a fucking legend. Given all the just all the shits around. If he just allowed himself to take the piss and not take himself so seriously, thanks Buckinative, he would have actually been loved by people instead of being a total douche nozzle. But this is probably the point where he just lost it. This is probably his biggest point beyond movies, where he had a chance to show people that he wasn't a total dickface, and could take the piss out of himself, and people would have loved him from here. Just my thoughts. Right, I'm gonna go mix another drink, so I'm gonna let you all watch this for a bit.
But it doesn't work.
Maybe we misjudged you. Yeah, maybe you're not a girly man after all, Mr. Seagal.
He insisted on doing a diatribe about the environment.
Oh my God.
It's insane. There's like this board of directors, and then he enters the banquet room and starts beating, it's live, and he's beating them up and throwing them around the room, and it goes on for like 8 minutes. It's just the longest scene you've ever seen. And then at the very end, he turns to camera and says,
This is what happens when you pollute the planet.
And the audience is mystified.
A lot of other people have cited him and that week as the example of like the worst host and week.
Probably think I'm the biggest jerk who's ever been on the show.
No, that would be Steven Seagal.
Seagal leans over to me and goes like,
why did Lauren say that about me? I was the worst host ever.
You know, he picked you because you're such a big star and you could, kick his ass.
And Seagal goes, oh.
Yo, what the hell's a Pabst Buckinative? And, by the way, Tom Segura, here's the thing about Tom Segura. I used to like him before he was on Joe Rogan a lot, and before he started thinking his own shit doesn't stink, and before he started calling all of his fans broke. I'm not really a fan. I don't watch all of his shit, but I watch enough YouTube to see it. His bit on Seagal is awesome, where he trashes Seagal. But with that said, it's not that hard to trash Seagal. He gives you the material. You kind of just have to serve it up on a platter to people. Now, Tom Segura's been doing it his whole life, so he's obviously a lot funnier than I am, but yeah, trashing Seagal's not that hard. He just happened to get in at the right time. And Seagal's a great character to give you material.
He's a fucking moron.
Yeah. Rumors start to spread around Steven's behavior behind the scenes.
He was actually hitting the stuntman like
oh, hell yeah. He's known for that.
He's notorious of breaking people's arms, legs, ribs.
There was one of the scenes that he's supposed to throw him through, like the prop, whatever, washroom. He throw him through that, he breaks the toilet, and he grabs his face real mirror and smash his face to the mirror multiple times. Rear mirror.
Broke the guy's face, split his face open from cheekbone to jawbone. Wow. I mean, he hurt people for real.
But all these guys, stunt guys, they.
Can anyone think of any other action star that is known for belting people? Like just off the top of your head, can any of you tell me of another person? Because it's pretty well known that Seagal belts the shit out of people. Is there any other actor that we know of that deliberately belts people to make it look more authentic? Anyone? I don't think so. I actually don't think there is anyone else besides Sensei Butterbelly.
Sign waivers, right? So
he's scared of him.
Everybody's scared of him, dude.
Tu as parlé de Stallone tout à l'heure. Il raconte que tu te serais engueulé très très fort avec Steven Seagal dans sa villa à Miami.
Non, pas engueulé, il y a une petite poussette.
Is it true he got in a fight with you?
No. It'd be like me squashing an ant.
J'étais un peu fâché, j'ai dit à Steven, je t'attends dehors. Ah oui, parking, voilà. Et vous êtes... Non, ça a pris 2 heures, il est pas venu.
But someone else did get his hands on Steven.
Gene LeBell is somebody who...
Before we get into Gene LeBell, so that was a clip I was telling you about where Van Damme himself talks about the story. That's the first time I've heard that. So this, like I said, this dude found some deep diving shit on stuff. I've never heard it straight from Van Damme's mouth. I've heard it from Stallone and a bunch of other people talking about it. So, like I said, this guy did some deep research, man, and probably searched from some shit in French as well. I don't know, but good on him. So that was the clip I was telling you about of Van Damme talking about the story where he confronted Seagal and Seagal bitched out. Apparently he ran to a nightclub, and then Van Damme chased him there as well afterwards.
Who made his entire career.
Now it's time for Poopgate. The infamous Poopgate story. We'll watch this while I roll myself a medicinal cigarette.
Career lying about who he beat up.
Steven Seagal, if brains are measured in Cadillacs, he'd be on roller skates.
Gene's a legend. He was a judo champion, and he was like one of the first guys to do mixed martial arts fights.
Tells everybody he beat me up, he choked me out, and the guy is a pathological liar.
Let's just stop it right there. Just on the word pathological liar, because I mean, come on. Yeah, right. I'm not even gonna.
People, you gotta know the difference between BS and legit.
Here's how the story goes. On the set of Out for Justice, Steven tells LeBell that he can't be choked out because of his Aikido training. LeBell accepts the challenge.
Gene gets behind Steven and puts him in some kind of mock hold, not a real hold, but a mock hold.
Seagal just sidesteps, full blast.
I've seen No Retreat, No Surrender. He plays the Russian guy. I remember that movie very well. The young kid's dad gets his leg broken, and then he sees Bruce Lee in a dream and learns how to fight and beats up all the bad guys, including Van Damme at the end.
And forearms, you know.
His move was, when you put the rear naked choke on, he hits you in the balls.
LeBell jumped up like 3 feet in the air.
Gene then grabs Steven.
Choked him out instantly and he shit his pants.
That last part of the story spreads like wildfire, although it allegedly wasn't true.
Seagal did not his pants nor go into convulsions. End of story. I was there. Anybody who says otherwise about this story are liars.
Gene LeBell.
How do we know that? How do we know that I think his name was Lambert, something Lambert. I actually watched a lot of those clips and I did a video about, obviously, Gene LeBell and Seagal. How do we know? How do we know that Poopgate didn't happen? I mean, one bloke saying it, and there's a few other people that said da-da-da-da. But, I mean, you know, if Seagal says that 50 people were paid to talk shit about him, what's to say that he didn't pay people to not talk shit about him? I mean, I made a video about the CIA one, I think it was, Spook or Liar, where it talks about how this guy, Gary Goldman, was essentially Seagal's mate. Steven Seagal versus Jake Paul, that would be awesome. It was his mate, and then after they had a falling out, all of a sudden he wasn't so endorsing of Seagal's bullshit stories of the war. Now, you could say that he was talking shit the whole time, but he may have just been covering for Seagal while the money was coming in, and then once they had a falling out, he thought, I'm going to fucking tell the truth. And it turns out Seagal wasn't such a CIA badass like it was originally planned. But Stephen Lambert, that's his name. Thanks, Mick. I knew it was something Lambert. But yeah, who knows what's truth and what's fiction. The internet has helped us shine light on a lot of douchebags. That's a great thing. Shine light on a lot of douchebags. It obviously allows any dickhead like me to say anything. But it also exposes a lot of people who, had it not been for the internet, we probably still thought were legitimate, I don't know, martial artists or whatever you want to call it, in their own field, masters in their own field.
Never confirmed nor denied it actually happened.
By the way, this dude made a 37-minute documentary on Steven Seagal for April Fool's Day. I mean, if that's not dedication and legendary fucking, what's the word? Drive? I don't know what it is.
Which only added fuel to the fire.
And is it true that he did, in the process, soil himself?
Well, if a guy soils himself, you can't criticize him, because if they just had a nice big dinner an hour before, you might have a tendency to do that.
People in Hollywood can make their lives by making to try to make themselves something that they're not. You can.
It's amazing listening to him say that people are making up shit to make themselves something that they're not. I mean, do I really need to add anything else to that at the end other than, pot kettle?
Destroy someone's life, their legacy, their reputation just by making up lies.
Steven gets caught having an affair with the family's nanny. So with his life, career, and reputation in shambles, Steven turns to the only option left: reincarnation.
And he went on this weird thing where he would go up in the mountains and pray. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but...
In 1997, you were recognized as a Tibetan Lama or a tulku.
The reincarnated embodiment of a revered 17th century Lama or holy man.
Can you tell me more about that and what that meant?
Well, without going into any great detail, I've been a Buddhist since I was a child.
And apparently...
You don't go into any great detail, because God forbid you'd actually have to explain some shit. Just be extremely vague about things, right? That way no one can ask you any questions, and you don't have to explain anything further. I like it.
If you give enough money to the Dalai Lama's charities, eventually you get something out of it. And so the Dalai Lama made him the deity.
In a sacred ceremony in Tibet, he was given the title Precious Jewel.
Make up your mind, bro.
I mean, this I really shouldn't sound canon,
but he does say it anyway. He claims he's God.
All sentient beings have the Buddha nature within them, which means they are all, sort of God.
That's quite an admission from the famous actor.
He comes to the set after he makes you the Dalai Lama. He comes, now he's a god. And he comes to the set, I just met with the Dalai Lama.
Before we tell this story, can we just recognize that Seagal basically considers himself God and a deity? As much as we obviously do, we recognize it. He also does.
He, in his wisdom, decided to make me a deity. I feel a difference. I feel like certain things now that never made sense to me make sense to me on a universal level. And his assistant comes up to him and says, "Hey, Steven, your ex-wife called. You can't bring the kids over this weekend. You tell that if she doesn't get those kids over here, I'll break her neck."
When he comes back...
That does not sound like Sensei Puffy Pants. He would not say that kind of shit. There's no way Sensei Snorkels would say that. No way Sensei Snorkels would say that kind of shit. Not his style. He's a controlled, emotionally stable man.
Steven decides to quit acting. He's done with Hollywood.
He didn't want to act no more. He quit. He goes somewhere. He works in the sheriff's office. And he's teaching them how to do karate and all these stupid moves and whatever.
I showed my shooting skills and my martial arts skills to, several different SWAT teams, and they were duly impressed. And, at that point, he was so pleased with what I was doing. He asked me to go into the force and be one of his cops.
He's a cop. No.
I became a cop to save lives. I've saved many people's lives during Katrina in Louisiana. I was there. And so...
Basically, he's telling you how awesome he is. This is for the uninitiated who don't know about Sensei Puffin stuff. I mean, just look at that. Just where I've paused it right now. If that's just not a great embodiment of the man himself, Fan Expo, Canada, little Asian garb there, glasses that are too small for his fat head, goatee that is somewhat trimmed but not really trimmed, whatever that is on top of his... I mean, that is... If I could just jump into a moment right now, I'd want to jump into his face just as it is right now, just that whole being. I mean, I just want to freeze myself on that essence of his face right now. The only thing that could top this if he had those yellow tinted sunglasses, and yeah, that's probably about it. That's probably about it.
For me, it was a great honor to be able to serve not only my community or my department, but mankind.
As you can imagine, his production partner, Julius Nassau, wasn't quite pleased with the decision. He plots to extort Steven with the mob's help.
So they sit down with him, threaten him, do all kinds of stupid shit. Steven Seagal, all those karate movies, remember them things? He shit in his pants, I think, twice. He was so scared.
Steven agrees to pay $700,000 on the spot. But here's the thing.
The table was bugged.
By the...
Everyone says that Sammy the Bull could have been talking shit, could have been not talking shit. Regardless of what you think about Sammy the Bull, Seagal ended up testifying in court, so there was some legitimacy to him and the mafia and those connections. The details, who knows, but there's some legitimacy to that, to Seagal being involved. Probably shitting his pants, pissing his pants. Apparently he was at court, by the way, holding one of those blankets, those, I don't know what they call, energy blankets or some shit on his lap, which Sammy the Bull enjoyed making fun of.
FBI, which was building a case against the New York Mafia.
So they went to Steven Seagal and told him, we want you to testify. He turned white. He was paralyzed with fear about testifying.
But Steven does end up testifying.
What do those kids bring that blanket, safety blanket, they hold on to it all the time? He held on to his blanket on the stand while he was testifying the whole time. The guy, when he went in the back room, was hysterical, crying. 2 agents had to hug him. Really.
Julius...
Whether or not that's even true, it doesn't even fucking matter. The fact that he said that means that hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people have seen it. That's all that matters. People have heard that shit now, that Steven Seagal was in the back being hugged by a policeman while he was holding a blanket or some shit. And from and I don't care if it's true or not. I mean, even I need to take a still of that photo. Look at that artist rendition of Seagal's little ponytail there. See the little ponytail? Can you see the mouse? The little ponytail there. That's cute. That's a perfect. It looks like he's wearing a suit, which is disturbing because I think he should be wearing some kind of Asian fucking Splinter outfit that he wears.
Also gets charged with extortion and conspiracy charges. He spends a year in prison, while Steven comes back.
David, I already
He's known for his action movies, and now martial arts expert Steven Seagal is reprising one of his roles as a law enforcement officer.
I wanted to do a cop show that was based on real events that I had experienced in my life, seen in my life. I wanted to try to make it the most realistic cop show that I've ever seen.
And every episode begins with him looking in the camera and saying, I don't know if you knew this or not.
But for the past 20 years, I've also been a cop.
And you're like, what did you just say? I thought you've been making shitty movies for the last 20 years. What are you talking about?
Fuck you, Tom. Alright? One man's shitty movie is another YouTube channel's fucking goldmine of useful information and data to make fun of.
Get him, Johnny! Get him!
Go to the right. Let me block. I'm just telling you where the holes are. Watch this guy. You're good. One false move and any of us could be dead. Just slow down.
Where are you at? Where are you at?
Heads up. Don't forget he's got a gun.
I got him, taser.
The best part is, whenever they arrest people, Seagal would just be kind of, see, there he is right there. There he is right there on the right there. He'd always be floating around. Not really doing shit, because I don't know if he can actually touch people and do shit. But he's always floating around looking like he was going to do shit. And, you know, kind of like that fucking one kid who always stands at the back talking shit but not actually doing anything. Like,
taser! Watch your head.
He's right there in front of the center.
The show is a hit. Steven now sets his sights on the UFC.
I mean, you've been around the martial arts world for so many years, but it seems like in the last couple months, much more talked about. And
listen, I've been doing the martial arts since I was a baby. I love the martial arts. They are my life.
If there was one fight you could see happening in 2013, what would it be?
It's really hard to say right now.
How did you and Anderson Silva first come into...
He also said at one point that John Jones will be knocked out and lose very soon. And he'll lose a lot after he loses that one time, which Sensei Butterball was wrong about. But he did teach people how to do a kick that he didn't.
Anderson sent me a card saying, teach me your lethal stuff. There's just some unique stuff that I'm teaching Yoda that he wouldn't be learning from anywhere else, I don't.
Can you imagine?
Always buy McDonald's.
You get hit with that? I'm dead. Don't push.
I love how he thinks that in an actual fight, right, especially in an MMA fight where they're professionals, you literally gotta have time to just chop a guy's fucking neck because they just stand there like that. Same thing with his bullshit defenses where he always talks about grabbing the punch or deflecting with a fucking elbow. But you're not fucking Ip Man or Donnie Yen in Ip Man. You're not deflecting punches with your elbow that are coming at your fucking face in a real fight. That's not how it works. That's how it works when you're pointing your nose and you tell someone to come. When you're fucking standing there and someone's throwing a jab cross, you can't just fucking grab their wrist. You're not fucking... Anyway. What am I doing?
After Anderson knocked out Beats with Belfort, he said the front kick he won the fight with was taught to him by you.
I spent a lot of hard work teaching Leodo and Anderson Silva that kick. That kick cannot be stopped.
Thank you, Paul, indeed, Dr. Shu. Paul needs to be thanked.
This is my favorite dancing in the world.
Lawman gets renewed for another season.
130 roosters are safe tonight after the sheriff's department breaks up a cockfighting operation in Levine.
Right now, my team and I are gearing up to take down the suspect wanted for animal cruelty, allegedly raising roosters for cockfighting.
Yuvera was convicted of a misdemeanor last year of attending a cockfight and has no history of owning weapons.
Given what we know about this guy, we feel that it's going to be safest to deploy SWAT. We hope to take the suspect and anybody else who's inside the house by surprise.
That they did, including the suspect's 11-month-old puppy, which was apparently
he's dancing,
right here.
He's dancing away from him.
Brace yourself, guys.
We were able to catch our suspect with some crime, not anybody getting hurt.
Animal cruelty is one of my pet peeves.
115 birds were euthanized on the spot, and thousands of dollars in damages were made to the property.
Critics slam Seagal and Arpaio, saying they staged the event just for the camera.
To help actor Steven Seagal.
How many other fucking raids on people's houses do you see on television unless there's a big giant warthog celebrity in the lead role? Otherwise, they wouldn't be filming or probably driving tanks to stop a fucking cockfighting ring or whatever, 115 chickens. Is it chickens that fight in cockfights or are they roosters? I don't know how it works. But why do they need a whole fucking crew and a tank and a bunch of other shit to stop a fucking poxy little backyard outfit? Give me a break.
TV show Lawman.
Lovera ends up suing the...
We'll say one thing though, after those chickens were killed, Seagal ate the shit out of all of them after they were fried and battered and shit, so they didn't go to waste, he ate them all. The dog, not too sure, he could have eaten that too, but I don't know.
Production, which leads to the show getting cancelled. The true nature of his involvement with UFC fighters also comes to the surface.
And a lot of people are saying that you were taking credit for a kick that has been done many years ago, and they were showing footage of it, and a lot of people didn't...
Let's just watch the faces Ariel's asking that question. Fuck off, internet.
Buy it. It's been...
Also comes to the surface.
A lot of people are saying that you were taking credit for a kick that has been done many years ago, and they were showing footage of it, and a lot of people didn't buy it.
How true is that? The front kick, I showed him that. I've working hard for this kick for a long time in my life.
Anderson Silva has a wonderful sense of humor, and he thought it would be hilarious if people believed that he was learning all of his martial arts from Steven Seagal.
Come on, Kelly. Nice to have you here.
He was paying those guys. That was a sponsorship just like any other sponsorship. Steven Seagal ran out of money, and these guys have ran out of compliments. Pretty weird coincidence, don't you agree?
What do you make of Chael's taunting of Anderson?
I think that kind of behavior is an embarrassment to the human race.
It's an embarrassment to the martial arts. Well, I don't know anything about martial arts, but Steven Seagal will know a damn lot about behavior that's embarrassing to the human race.
The Lawman is under fire.
New accusations against action star Steven Seagal.
Is being sued by a woman who claims he used her as a tool.
And several actresses have actually now come forward with...
I shouldn't laugh, but did he just say that he used the lady as a sex toy?
About behavior that's embarrassing to the human race.
Tell someone's a legend.
The Lawman is under fire.
New accusations against action star Steven Seagal.
Is being sued by a woman who claims he used her as a tool.
And several...
All right, firstly, I mean, I'm not condoning that behavior. That's wrong, obviously, but just the way the guy phrased it, using someone as a sex toy, I'm guessing that means he basically just did whatever he wanted with her against her will. Uncle Chael has a gun. Yeah, Uncle Chael. I don't give a shit what anyone says. His comment about the Nogueira brothers landing here and petting a bus because they thought it was a horse is fucking hilarious. See, his trash talking was a little bit different to Conor McGregor's. It never got personal. It just got broadly insulting, not specifically insulting and personally insulting. Yeah, off-screen nudity with Jenna McCartney. That's right, Jenna McCarthy, whatever her name was. Yeah, you're right, John. The extra hair triangles. And the restraining order against Jean LaBelle. There was a lot of quality in that kit.
Several actresses have actually now come forward with allegations. Jennifer McCarthy and also Portia de Rossi.
The last couple of movies, Seagal had his way with young teenage girls in 3 states. There's warrants for him.
I had
Allegedly. Let's all just say allegedly. I mean, if we're going to live in the real world, we could say that Seagal assaulted these women. If we're going to live in the Hollywood world, we can say that, they were just auditioning for roles and they had to do what they had to do. But obviously it's disgusting. And the general consensus is the reason why he fucked off to Russia now is to escape these charges. That is what most people say. To avoid all the charges, he went to Russia. He paid a few women off, settled a few cases of harassment back in the 90s, apparently. 3 women on the set of one movie. I can't remember the movie. Joint, by the way. But yeah, he diddled. He definitely diddled. Maybe not to quite the extent as the diddler did, the old P. Diddy diddler, but he diddled to some extent, definitely.
just turned 16 on this movie, and he said, Katie, I've got girlfriends your age. And I said, isn't that illegal? And he said, they don't seem to mind. And I said, Mom!
2 women have come forward claiming Steven Seagal attacked them.
When I was only 17 years old, I was sexually assaulted by Steven Seagal. I was cast as an extra on Seagal's film On Deadly Ground. I was invited for an audition at the Club Bar in the Peninsula Hotel, Beverly Hills. I received a phone call from Seagal inviting me to attend a rap party at his home. I was taken up to Steven's room by his assistant, who repeated to me multiple times in the elevator, Steven's word is as good as gold. He was standing at the front door.
Steven's word is as good as gold. I don't know how many of you have been here for the full ride, but let's just stop for a moment and think about that phrase. Steven's word is as good as gold.
And greeted me, and immediately I asked him, where is everyone else? He replied, they had all left. Steven's assistant left me alone with him and his personal security guard. He took my hand and led me into an adjacent room, which appeared to be a bedroom. Steven approached me and said that he would like to act out a romantic scene to get a sense of our chemistry. He closed the door and approached me from behind. He started kissing my neck and taking off my clothes. I was not sexually active, nor had I ever been naked in front of a man before.
Yeah, so that girl was 18, by the way, at the time of the filming. I think it was On Deadly Ground, if I'm not mistaken, or one of those shitty movies where he was in charge. And probably ruined her life, allegedly. Again, innocent to proven guilty, but we also know that the wheels of justice are not as they actually are in this world, especially in Hollywood, where it's all fucking freaks and weirdos. But now, Just quickly, I'll just in the chat, just a 1. If you think he did it, if you think he did the shit that he's accused of, put a 1. If you don't think he did it, put a 2. I'm just curious to know. Legitimately, all bullshit aside, do you think he did the shit that these women are saying? 1 for yes, 2 for no.
I froze. I remember him taking off his robe. And the next thing I knew, he was...
Okay.
Steven.
There seems to be no fucking doubt in the chat. Because everyone's put 1. I've got a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I've got a few extra 1s. I've got a 10. I've got a 3, which I don't know what the fuck that means. 1.5. Alright.
Slipped his hand underneath my bikini
Really,
top.
everyone thinks he did it.
And began pinching.
That's great. You guys are fucking legends.
And simultaneously.
Thank you all for coming. But
slid
you're all
his
fucking
hand.
legends. You crack me up.
I couldn't
comments are
move,
fucking
and I
hilarious.
felt as if I was watching my body from above. I felt tears coming down my face, and I looked away from his gaze.
Look, I don't want to bring it down. Basically, Seagal did what Seagal does. So we'll just, you know, you can watch that afterwards. But, you know.
In terms of your life in America, you've been very much caught up in all the allegations of sexual harassment. You had allegation against you, and I wonder how you deal with...
I love how he just storms off here. He just, Seagal won't put up with that shit. Who does this lady think she is? BBC, big black, you know, endowment, trying to talk to this guy about how he should treat women and the things he's done. How does she not know who he is?
all that. Hello, Steven Seagal.
Take the microphone off you.
Yeah. So he gets in touch with Putin, wants a Russian citizenship. He's over there now.
Mr. Putin presented a Russian passport to the Hollywood action star Steven Seagal.
Has he really moved to Russia? Yeah, he moved to Russia. I don't know if he moved there or we sent him there and told him not to come back, but...
First of all, Jimmy Kimmel, you can shut the fuck up because I don't like you at all. I think you're a piece of shit who's just told to sell a bunch of shit, whatever he's told to do. Regardless, I'm not even talking about left or right. I think you're just a fucking shill of the entertainment industry. But Seagal definitely moved over there because Hollywood banned him after he... Look, he may have spoken out about stuff. I don't know how he could speak about sexual abuse or any of that kind of shit when he was doing it himself. So it's not like he was going after Harvey Weinstein when he was doing the old Harvey Weinstein himself. But, yeah.
Basically hiding in Russia over a bunch of charges.
This is what I've heard.
Why else would he be living in Russia right now? I mean, seriously. Seriously.
Mr. Putin told the actor that he hoped that this would serve as a symbol of what he described as a gradual normalization of relations between Moscow and Washington. The actor has...
I want to pause it on the handshake just so we can see just the authority in the room right here.
Described Mr. Putin as one.
See that power move?
Between Moscow and Washington, the actor has described Mr. Putin as one of the greatest world leaders.
I love Vladimir Putin, and I think he's a wonderful human being, a great world leader.
By the way, I don't hate Putin. I'm not going to get political about shit. I'm not saying Putin's good or bad. But what I find amusing how Seagal is basically hated by America. So he goes somewhere where... Obviously, he's part Russian Mongol, so he goes to wherever he's welcome, which could be fucking in North Korea. He'd go to North Korea if they welcomed him, let's be real. I mean, even though he'd go to fucking Iran or North Korea if they welcomed him.
And I think he loves the martial arts.
I was specifically designated to better relations between America and Russia. Nothing could be more difficult right now.
And we think Will Arnett, where they had to, was all improvised? What's it called? Murder mystery or some shit? Well, Will Arnett gets a bunch of people on and they improvise shit on the spot. I actually found that it wasn't too bad. I don't know how much it was actually improvised, but it wasn't too bad, some of them.
That the only way to really create world balance
look, John, I don't hate
and world power and peace in the world is if America and Russia become brothers and best friends. And that's my mission in life.
Are you enjoying yourself there?
I don't agree with everything that's happening in the world. But I don't think there's any more or less of a piece of shit. I don't think it's as easy as good or bad. It never is.
Political culture for us.
So nice.
Look at the disgust in his face as he has to eat that fucking carrot. Alright? There's no part of him that wants to eat that carrot because it looks nothing like a cookie. He eats it and instantly looks down at it in disgust. Look at his eyes, the eye line. He's looking straight down at it in disgust. First of all, he's thinking this should be circular, there should be chocolate chips, and there should be a naked woman feeding it to me and licking the crumbs out of my goatee. That's a good question, Adi Pikal. That's a very good. I think when they have their little cute little wrestles, pillow fights, they take it in turns.
Готов.
It's ready.
What situation does your country have to be in as a world leader if you think you need to bring Steven Seagal in for public relations? Let's just think about that for a moment. You're bringing in Steven Seagal because you think your country needs help with its public relations. What the fuck is going on? Again, very strange. I can't believe it's already been 30. This documentary is almost over. I kind of ruined it by stopping it all the time. But
Вот это и есть та свекла. То есть это вот капуста, грибы.
hold on, who's that? Kristen Frost laser beams. What do you mean it was a troll? You're trying to say that this Belarusian... No, it's not a troll because they all love this guy in that area for some strange reason. And I'll tell you why. Because no other celebrity goes over there from the Western world to even pay any attention to Belarus. Who knows anybody from Belarus? Who knows anybody famous from Belarus? Who knows anybody that gives any shit about Belarus? No disrespect to Belarus. But they're not doing anything on the world stage. Seagal is their biggest claim to fame with his carrots and his fucking watermelon.
Cabbage, mushrooms, salad.
Exactly, humongous. Put in fucking Seagal.
You're obviously a Hollywood star, but in some of your interviews you were quite critical of the Hollywood culture and you sought to distance yourself from Hollywood, from California in real life.
I'm not going to disagree with Seagal. Everyone should this dude bagged Kelly LeBrock. Yeah, you're right. Exactly, Kat. Everyone should distance themselves from Hollywood because Hollywood is fucking just disgusting, really. I mean, I'm in Australia, and you know we don't really have a big movie industry. It's all kind of diddlers going on. There's diddlers and fiddlers everywhere. It's warped. Do I believe that all this Diddy was doing shit and why? 100%. Do I believe that Seagal was taking advantage? 100%. I have no doubt in my mind that all these dirty fuckers are using their power to their advantage. Regardless of whether it's Hollywood or music industry or whatever, people with power will always exploit people with less power. People who are desperate to, you know, attain levels of fame or money or notoriety or whatever it may be. So all of these dirty dogs, I don't even doubt for a minute. Are they all true? Maybe not all of them are true. Some of them probably jumping on the bandwagon, may have got a dirty look and they say it's something else. But do I definitely think that these pricks are using their, you know, situation to take advantage of the situation? 100%. 100%.
There are two kinds of actors. The kind of actors that are...
Whoa. Okay, everyone just calm the fuck down and let's listen now. He's about to tell us about acting.
There are two kinds of actors. The kind of actors that are real thespians that come into Hollywood because they are artists and they love acting and consider it an art and a science and they work at it.
Lunatics in their own right, yeah.
That's 3 out of 3 million. And then a lot of the people who come to Hollywood because they need to be adored. And the people who need to be adored, it's a kind of a sickness.
Are there commercials in this shit as well?
The Cannibal House because most of those people will eat each other to get ahead.
Are there commercials in this shit?
They will do anything to get ahead, and they don't realize that if they're lucky, that 1 in a million or 1 in 10 million, they'll be on top of the world, and the next minute, no matter who they are, they're going to fall down. Because that's the essence of delusion.
You still fight?
Yes, I do.
You still dangerous?
It's one of my favorite quotes. Look how many producers and shit this guy has on the show. That's all people that are contributing to this goddamn show. I literally have one dickhead doing it, and it's this fucking
And,
bald dickhead standing in front of you right now who does everything myself. Well, okay, that was pretty much it then. That's the end of the show. But I don't want to go yet because I'm still having a bit of a drink and some shit. You guys want to watch something else, or you can't be fucked? Because I'm happy to watch something else. I mean, I got a lot of shit up my sleeve. I can keep it shorter, but I'm happy to watch something else. I'll tell you what, I will show you one thing, seeing you guys are all here, right? Here's the thing about YouTube, right? I don't mind YouTube, YouTube's lovely, etc, etc, etc. I'm going to open you guys up to a little bit of, I'll be a bit transparent with you all right now. This was my last 90 days on YouTube. Okay? Alright? You tell me if any of this shit looks fucking weird, yeah? So these are my views, just harping along as normal. Then all of a sudden, bam, we just go from like 20,000 to like 3,000 in that fucking day. And then my subscribers, yeah, boom, 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 just tracking along, no problems. Then all of a sudden one day, bam, I go into negatives. I go into negatives. I'm in negatives now. And YouTube's trying to tell me, and it might be true, that all of a sudden people have stopped watching my shit. Like, I just don't get it. And don't get me wrong, people are going to be sick of it, and they're going to get bored, and they'll move on, and they'll get over it, and they'll get over my humor, and they'll get over my style, and it'll be a novelty. But I mean, it just shouldn't drop like that. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. And they're trying to tell me that it's just natural. You know, videos reach their peak, and I'm like, so my whole channel's getting less views than I was getting an hour from one video, and that's normal to you. And I'm like, alright, so all I can do is just keep going. YouTube says nothing to see here, but you know, like I said, I'm not stupid. I understand numbers. I'm quite good with numbers and words. It's kind of my two specialities. I suck at a lot of other things, but I'm actually reasonably good at analysing things, objectively, I would dare say. But nonetheless, we're going to keep pushing forward. No, this is great stuff. Oh, thank you. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. But you know, it's not a conspiracy. Look, every now and again, I drop some shit about my political beliefs that some of you guys don't like. I get it. I might talk about a certain thing where it be about, you know, women's spaces being only for women and not people crossing over sides, as an example. And I strongly believe that, as with someone who has a niece and a girlfriend, I believe that women's spaces should be for women. And maybe I'll touch on those kind of things, and the YouTube algorithm doesn't like it. I make fun of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but I also make fun of guys. I make fun of alpha males as much as I do make fun of beta males. I make fun of the traditional woman as much as I make fun of the modern. Like, it's just, yeah, I just make fun of whatever. And I think you should just be able to fucking have a joke about anything. Nothing's meant with malice. I'm not trying to be malicious towards anybody. I don't hate anybody. If anything, I hate myself more than I hate anyone else, objectively. So, yeah, but YouTube is doing what it's doing. I appreciate all you guys' support, honestly, while I've got you all here. Well, not all of you, but 170 odd of you. I do appreciate the support. And I do notice the guys that comment and the ladies that comment repeatedly. Sometimes I might mention it to you that I do see it. I might not always mention it to you, but I do fucking see the comments and the positive words, and I appreciate it. To all the Patreon people, it's not a lot of you, but to all the Patreon people that bother throwing in an extra couple of bucks a month, or to the next level guys that pay a bit more, I truly appreciate that, especially when times when YouTube literally slices my income by 90%. And given that I'm living overseas right now in Thailand, which is my choice to try and do that, it makes a big difference right now because YouTube has shut all over my parade in the last week and a half, to be honest with you. And we'll see what's going to happen from there, but it is what it is, and it's just good to actually chat to you guys, and, you know, maybe you guys get to see my face and see that I'm actually a real person. I am still a dickhead who makes, you know, videos for fun, but, you know, like I said, there's enough bullshit in the world. Sometimes you just need to fucking just relax. Watch a video about idiots karate chopping people, or a 6'5" walrus who thinks he's fucking the greatest person in the world. Like, how are you, Jay Finn? Legend. How are you, mate? Of course you can give ideas, T Badger. Fire away, mate. I'm always open to constructive criticism, whether it be good or bad. I always want to hear shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not. No one's perfect. yeah, so not everyone's always going to be happy with stuff, but I'm always happy to have feedback. I don't just want to hear you guys saying how awesome shit is. I want to hear how, you know, shit can be improved. Like, some people don't like the little short edits that I put in, and I've tried to, like, not put them as frequently. I've tried to space out the little cutscenes, if you will, where it, you know, to just try and break up the humor. Because obviously when I say things, you don't want 15 minutes of me just saying shit. You want clips in between. I try and break it up with a bit of humor every now and again with an and, or a plus, or a circle, 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 or a thank you, Paul, or a fart. But yeah. Yeah, I think I have been shadow banned, Zig and Co. It's it's pretty. Yeah, I dare say it's quite surprising that it all hope. If my drop in viewers and subscribers had been over like a week period progressively, I wouldn't doubt it. I literally wouldn't. But I woke up in an hour, and then within a 24-hour period, I've gone from gaining 54 subs a day to losing 5, 10, 11, 6, 9. I mean, it's just very strange. But it is what it is. Why am I in Thailand? Is well cool. Because Australia is an interesting country right now. It's very expensive. The government is... I lost my job during COVID. I didn't take the vaccine, not for any other reason other than I didn't feel comfortable about it. I'm not into politics or any of that bullshit. Everyone can do what they want. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole situation and being forced into it, so I lost my job that I'd been there for 3 years, performed in the top 5% of the company the whole time, but that became irrelevant if you don't follow their policies, even though I was injured at the time also. And then a friend suggested, why don't you start making some party invitations? So I started dabbling in Photoshop, and then I started dabbling in Premiere Pro, and then someone said you should make some videos because you talk a bunch of shit, and I started from there. So that's basically my story if anyone actually gives a shit. And I ended up in Thailand because the limited money I make off YouTube could actually allow me to survive here. I like the culture here. I've been here many times. I like the ethics, the morals, the values, the people, all those kind of things. Not that I don't like it in Australia, but it's a different lifestyle there in terms of just focusing on working. That tomorrow, routine, not enjoying the now. So, yeah. that's a me. I was answering one person then, but yeah, no worries. As well, I thought I might as well give you the full rundown. But look, I don't. People sometimes tell me that my politics are getting in the way and shit. I'm not political. I could not give a fuck about Donald Trump, Joe Biden, da. When I meet someone, I don't ask them what they're doing for work. I ask them, are you happy with your life? Are you happy with how you are? I think everyone gets caught up in the bullshit about work and, you know, bills and debts. And ultimately, that, like I said, I buried my cousin at 44 years old. I lowered him into a grave 2 weeks ago. A man who was, you know, planning to retire at 50 and it never came because, you know, it is what it is. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So I'm not going to get caught up in trivial, superficial bullshit when, you know, I can stay in Australia and bust my ass there, or I can come and live and enjoy myself here with a young lady who has the same kind of values and morals that I do. And, you know, yeah, that's enough. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting about shit. Actually, you guys have any questions or shit you want to ask me while we're here together? What's the weather there right now, Kelly? It's hot as balls, Kelly. It is always hot as balls. Would you be allowed to become a Steven Seagal impersonator, or are you allowed to do that with Elvis? I don't know. That's okay, Ormer. It's not about, like I said, I don't judge anyone for the choices they make. A lot of people I knew took the procedure because they had to for whatever reason. I don't judge anybody. Everyone makes their own choices. As long as you're not pushing your beliefs onto anyone else or trying to make people think the way you do, think what you want. If you're open to having discussions, that's all good. Yeah, like. But anyway, we're getting too preachy and shit now. Is there anything else anyone wants to? What's the next move for Seagal? I reckon he's going to say he fought for Russia. Well, he's training Russian soldiers. He's visiting them in hospital. What do you say about Vladimir Putin? I'll leave that up to Seagal. Twitch stream with movie. I don't know what that is. Someone told me about Twitch streaming or Steam. Steam? You're too good, J.A. Finn. If I ever make it to California, mate, I'll tell you what, I follow US politics more than I follow American politics. From what I hear, California is you guys are doing it rough over there, yeah? Like, I don't know, depending on where you sit with things, I hear your taxes are high, your homeless people are everywhere, your immigrants are running. Am I wrong with that? Or, like I said, I watch a lot of US politics. I actually know more about US politics than I know about Australian politics. I could probably name more US politicians than I could Australian politicians, but yeah. Well, as long as you're happy, J.A. Finn, I would love to come and visit one day, mate. I'd actually love to get to America at some stage. Like, I love the US. I'd love to get over there and see all the different countries, states. The foods, you guys have such a diverse range of food. The people. Twitch is its own platform. Yeah, I know about Twitch. Would you consider streaming like this to watch one of many free Steven Seagal films? Is there any free Steven Seagal films on YouTube, though? Really? I didn't know there was. Steven Seagal movie. You talking about like a pirated one or full movie? You talking about like a pirated movie or what? First Steven Seagal movie you ever watched. Steven Seagal living up to liking pie. He does, definitely. I mean, there's illegal ones we can watch and shit like Fire Down Below. But I mean, I don't know what YouTube would say about that shit. Did y'all catch the Michael Jai White, by the way, video about Seagal, where he literally rips into him about most of the shit that people already know anyway, but
Steven's, he's an entertainer, and I look at some of the stuff, and I can understand.
I tried to edit it in a way where it tells a story about what
deep
he thinks
martial
about
artist. There are too many martial artists that I really honor and respect, and who live that life of Budo.
Depending on what country you're
I
in,
couldn't put him in that same.
I'm in Thailand, but
when he
have
have fought somebody, when would be the instance where somebody's trying to kick the shit out of Steven Seagal in a match, and who would that be? If that person who tried to kill Seagal, or tried to fight him, or that sparred with Seagal.
Spawn was great, by the way.
If that ever happened,
you know what? While you're all here, I'll show you this.
Right. There's no way that happens. So here's a guy who's never done that. He's never had to.
No point. It's not worth making a game. But there was a game. There's no point making a video. There was a game made that was going to be made about Seagal. So many of you may not know this. So this is a sneak peek for you 139 people here. There was a game that was going to be released about Steven Seagal called The Final Option. Yeah. It was a piece of shit game. Ready? Okay, so here, that's him. That's him there on the left. And this is the game. He basically, first of all, he kicks way higher than Seagal does, so you know it's all bullshit. But I think if we stop at every 3 minutes and talk a lot, it would be okay. Good to know. Again, this is my first live. Yeah, I've never done this shit before. So if you guys have any suggestions, thank you, Colby. That would be handy while we enjoy this game. It's the shittest game ever. There's only 2 moves. The punches, 2 punches, and I think it's 2 kicks. Maybe even 1 kick. And it's just, again, yeah. I mean, this is back in that, I think it was 80s or late early 90s. There's this literally sideways play. Local Locus, and what's happening, my friend? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, so this is, I think this is the Super Nintendo, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Is the sound of the video? Yes, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And literally every level is the same shit. Like, someone told me to make a video about this, but I mean, what can I make a video about? He just kicks some shit, he punches some shit. We're supposed to believe he jumps, but he doesn't jump. Falling makes more sense. And then he reanimates there, like a lazy fuck. I do like the jeans, the tight jeans, if anyone remembers the camel toe crotch. The leather jacket that he used to wear back in the day. He does kick, he just doesn't kick above 45 degrees, in fairness. What's his name? Adbot, he does kick above 45 degrees. It says Super Nintendo, it says SNES, which I'm guessing is Super Nintendo Entertainment System, right? I know, I said the same thing, JA. Above 45 degrees is fake. But the skin tight jeans and the ponytail, spot on. Joker Locus, you're too good, my friend. You're a bit of a legend, mate. What can I tell you? Too good, champ. Greatly appreciated, mate. Especially everything that's been going on. Greatly appreciated. It's like the shittest game ever. But if you guys remember back in those days, I mean, I remember playing Double Dragon on Atari, and there wasn't a lot to it, but it seemed a little bit better even than this piece of shit game. PS5. Yeah, it is, Matt. PS5, mate. 100%. I love how he falls down, like the tubby shit that he is. And he spawns right behind. See how he spawns right behind people? That's a typical Seagal dog move. Just turn up right behind people. Why wouldn't you just fucking put it over there and stuff on it? Why wouldn't you just respawn on the damn platform, you idiot, that you have to jump onto? See, the problem is, this guy's not getting a run up and start like Seagal needs. He's there, right? Come on, Adfot. I mean, it's hilarious, but... Nah, thanks, Burger. You're a champion, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah. The character doesn't turn. It's just moves. Like, just, I don't know, what is it, 45 degree? Spots. And, by the way, this game was never released. I know you're all shattered. I am shattered as well. This game was never actually released. I don't know why. Because it seems very engaging and not repetitive at all. Where he's fighting against a bunch of dudes with hard hats and no guns at all, no weapons. Danny, you talking about Seagal? Because he doesn't need a weapon, mate. He is fucking Steven Seagal. This is the whole game, by the way. To think somebody put money into making this. That's why we've got drones now. We've got drones. If you think about it, drone technology. You can't even kick down. You can't even kick down. You gotta run down and then kick sideways. That's what it is. Take from the birthday snatches. Yeah. They should make a movie instead of body snatches, birthday snatches with Seagal. That'd be fucking hilarious. Can you turn the game and sound down? I can, mate. Sound on my end? Fucking do that. I mean, my microphone's really low and shit. Turn down more though. Is that better or no? Is that alright or is that better or not? You can't hear me or you can hear me? You're saying turn it up or turn it down? I don't know, are you guys saying turn the fucking shit up or turn it down? Pause the video when I talk. Well, that makes sense. Good call. Good call, Danny. Good call. Or is it T Badra? Good call. Okay. Did you guys watch the Sunny V2 video about Seagal? Did you guys hear the funny Sunny V2 video about Seagal or nah? No, nobody needs this game. This game is shit. It does nothing. It does nothing useful. Charles Xavier. If any of you are game developers out there, think about making this. Think about making this game. Seriously. Alright, I'm gonna get on the drink. Sit tight. Alright, I'm gonna put Sunny on. So here's the thing. Sunny V2 is. Do you guys know who this guy is or not? He's an Australian guy, yeah. Stole from Disabled. He's an Australian guy. He makes videos. They're alright. Don't get me wrong.
He killed a family's 1-year-old.
I'm not going to diss him because he's Australian, so I'm obviously going to be patriotic about it. But it's His videos are alright. They appeal to everybody. He knows what he's doing. He's got a certain cadence with his voice that appeals to everybody. 32% Brazilian, 32% Japanese. Are you 100% Seagalian though, Yolanda? That's the question. E.T. Yeah, I heard about E.T. E.T. was trash. Yeah, Sunny V2's videos are alright, but they're not the best. They're great for everybody. Let me put it that way. But anyway, I'll put it on. I'm gonna grab a drink. You guys sit tight. We're back in a sec.
Puppy dog and stole money from a kid in a wheelchair. Steven Seagal has such a comically terrible history.
Whoa! We're on times too. How the fuck do I slow that
I
down?
wonder how you deal with all that.
Oh yeah. Fucking times doing and shit.
Hello, Steven Seagal.
Number 1, treating other actors terribly during filming. I have a family member that worked with him years ago on a low-budget film. Steven Seagal was miserable and rude, but it only gets worse from here. Whilst filming for the movie Exit Wounds, stuntman Steven Quadros explained that Seagal would unexpectedly kick guys in the nuts to see if they were wearing cups, which was also mentioned by a different stuntman in a completely unrelated.
This motherfucker just said, by the way, that Seagal would punch people in the nuts or kick them in the nuts to see if they were wearing a cup. Just think about that. He would kick people in the fucking balls to see if it would hurt them.
Interview.
The first thing he's gonna do is kick you in the nuts. He's like, oh, hey, we're wearing a cup? Well, he's just gonna pop you in the nuts. That's the first thing he does.
One comment stated, I actually know a few stuntmen and actors who've worked with Seagal, and they all echo the same thing about him, one of whom might have been Stephen Lambert, who stated Seagal became more unpredictable during his fight scenes.
He's notorious of breaking people's arms, legs, ribs.
As he'd actually punch and hit other actors to make the fights look real.
He was actually hitting the stuntman like for
hell
real?
Yeah. He's known for that.
To make matters worse, protective equipment wasn't allowed on set.
There's nothing wrong with putting on pads. They would say no because he wouldn't allow it.
And it's therefore no surprise that during one scene, Seagal injured DMX's shoulder during the fight, so X had to take a few days off. Even worse was when Seagal put a stuntman in hospital.
And he beat the shit out of the guy and smashed his face to the mirror multiple times. He went over the top to the point that sent the guy to the hospital.
Which isn't surprising given he was this rough while filming a YouTube video.
So that guy there he chopped the ground. I did a video about him probably a year ago. He pays that guy to travel around with him and train with him, which basically means he pays that guy to just slap the shit. Like that guy, if you watch any of the videos with Seagal, for the most part, will be the guy getting his ass kicked by Seagal. Literally all the time.
I wasn't ready.
As a result, actors have to be extremely careful just to appear alongside him.
You gotta keep third eye on what he's doing. And if you're not good enough, he's gonna hurt you.
Although not only because of unexpected injuries. Seagal would show up on set demanding insane movie changes.
Calls the director, he's like, we're changing the scene. We're gonna do the scene in Arabic. He's gonna teach me. And he's like, put this camera here, put this camera here. And I was like, everybody's like,
while Stephen Tobolowsky told a funny story where Seagal randomly stopped acting on set due to an unexpected crisis.
Steven Seagal has had a spiritual awakening. He decided that he...
Most of you may not know this, or you may know this actually, you should by now. Seagal went through a Buddhist period where this guy's narration pisses me off. Yeah. You know what the thing is, Abel? It's alright, but it's his cadence and his tone. Seagal went to do this, and then what happened was it was really bad. Then after he went to It's very it's smart because it's how people like to listen to shit and they respond to it. So that's how he's got 3 million fucking followers, regardless of what his content's about. Joker, mate, what's going on, mate? You've been winning money in the casino, mate. It's too good, mate. Legendary, thank you. I appreciate it, brother.
Doesn't
really
want to kill people anymore in movies. And Steven says, I think
Thanks,
it's
mate.
just bad.
Good to see you here, brother. Really. Good to see you all here.
This resulted in a $14 million
I thought we were going to get about 10 people, so I'll take one. We're at about 180 at our peak. I'll take that.
But also
for the
made
first
regular
ever random live
unauthorized
that I
changes
just
to the
posted about
script and
yesterday.
dialogue, which could result in the loss of millions of dollars.
I forgot to pause when I was talking again. Again, first live. I'll get better at this shit, yeah?
Because parts of the film's plot that were promised now cannot be delivered to the film buyers. Seagal was sued for another $60 million after repeating his actions on 4 other sets, justifying his lack of effort with the worst excuse you'll ever hear. Seagal backed out because his...
And then what happened was he went to the streets and fell down a hole. But what happened was Seagal farted in someone's face and then he shit his pants. That's all it is. It's just literally probably someone, probably ChatGPT most of the time, probably writes a lot of scripts for these guys now. I'm not saying him specifically, but a lot of these guys. I actually heard someone asked me or told me they thought I was fucking AI because I was putting AI pictures, that I was using AI to make my content, which is fucking insulting because I fucking hate robots for starters. And secondly, if you can tell me that an AI robot can say the twisted shit that comes into my head, then I'll just fucking off myself now. I mean, there's no point being around. I don't think AI's reached a level where they're quite as demented as people like myself. Someone like a Sunny V2 or I don't know if you guys know Patrick CC, he makes good documentaries too, I like him. A couple of these guys that do nice, monotone kind of documentaries, which appeal to a broader audience, is awesome. Yeah, thanks, thanks, President Trump. I can handle myself all right. I wouldn't want to fuck with Big Papa if he was sitting down, but you know, if it got to the ground, I'd back myself. I did jiu-jitsu for about 1.5 years or so I could back myself against the average person. I've done a bit of kickboxing and boxing. I like to let my words do the pen is mightier than the sword, as they say. If you can talk yourself out of having to get stabbed or punched or assaulted, it's probably the best way to go, I believe. Anyway, I digressed. Talking about fucking a bunch of shit, but thank you very much. Does Sonny do his own edits and research? I assume Sonny at this point has 3.5 million subs. I don't think he's doing too much himself other than the voiceover, if we're being honest. He might oversee things, but I think all the edits are being done by someone. Like, I would not be paying, if I was making, you know, big money, I would not be paying this, I would not be doing the edits myself. I would write the script and I'll teach someone like how my style of editing is, and I'd get them to do it for me. Like I said, ideally someone from the community would be great one day. Patrick Feast says he's a little moist. Yeah, he's a little moist. He does like to hydrate. There's a lot of guys out there now. There's the guy called Turkey Tom. He's not too bad. There's a lot of them out there. Honestly, there's a lot, and they're not bad. They just make videos, like YouTube says, that appeals to a broader audience than someone like me who talks shit about Seagal or bullshit artists, and may not appeal to a broader audience. Yeah.
Buddhist guru known as Mukara said the films will create bad karma, perhaps because Seagal's also been exposed for exaggerating his skills as a fighter. Steven Seagal is in fact a black belt martial artist. However, his martial art of choice
let's just watch back what he did then. It looks impressive, but let's just watch it back, yeah? Let's just watch back what he did there.
Perhaps because Seagal's also been
so people running at him and he uses their body against him, yeah?
Fighter. Steven Seagal is in fact a black belt martial artist. However, his martial art of choice, Aikido, has been heavily criticized for being one of those mostly impractical martial arts that has extremely limited application in real-life scenarios.
He is a legitimate Aikido black belt. But
thanks,
the
Alden, I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, I've always been worried about the
thing.
A Reddit comment describes Seagal's martial art to be kind of a cult with fake telegraph.
I've always been worried about my I should have paused it again. The microphone and sound quality and shit. Who's Pink Guy? I don't know who that is. Is that someone who used to be in this community or something, or is that a YouTuber? Jay Aubrey, I've seen, man. Yeah, he's alright. I've seen Jay Aubrey actually. Yeah, I have. I don't know if you're talking to me or if you're talking to someone called Pope, but I'm guessing I'm Pope. Yeah, no, I've seen Jay Aubrey, bro. He's alright. I like him. There's some decent guys out there, like I said. And they've all got like a bit of a unique style, but they're all kind of very similar in the sense that they just make very... and again, their market is different to mine. I just make the shit that comes into my head, and I hope that people are fucked up like me enough to like it. That's basically it. Yeah.
Attacks. The attackers are just there to make the master look good, which is exactly what's shown in this video, where Seagal's attackers just fall to the floor to make him look good for the crowd. Unfortunately, people don't voluntarily flip over in the real world.
Alright, hold on, buddy, hold on.
Look good for the crowd. Unfortunately,
this guy doesn't look like he's ever competed in any kind of martial art or physical activity, if we're being honest. I mean, he's got a bigger chin than Seagal, so shut the fuck up. I might be wrong. Michael Zoran might be some deadly martial art practitioner, but it doesn't look like it.
People don't voluntarily flip over in the real world. This makes pro wrestling look real, wonderfully choreographed. Fighting is always easier when your opponent cooperates. It's therefore no surprise Seagal has no professional fighting record.
Who in MMA does Aikido? So-and-so coming in the cage isn't a world champion with a background in Aikido. You never heard that once. Have you ever heard that once? It's for a reason.
But he did claim that he'd taught Anderson Silva how to do a highly specialized move, the leg kick.
I started teaching him kicks that I thought he could really hurt people with, and at that point I knew he was going to start to really make these kicks, work.
He created the front kick. Did he invent the wheel too? In response, Anderson Silva made a video.
The answer to that question, fucking Canadian prepper, is yes, bitch. He did invent the wheel and fucking sliced bread.
Created the front kick. Did he invent
and
the wheel too?
Poking a hole in the end
response,
of a
Anderson
condom.
Silva made a video.
Seagal created that too, poking a hole in the end of a condom.
Mocking Steven Seagal's fighting, although there was one more attempt by Seagal to prove he could actually fight. Whilst on set for the movie Out for Justice, Seagal claimed that due to his Aikido training, he couldn't possibly be choked unconscious. The challenge was taken up by martial artists.
Now, I'm just going to stop it there. You see that so far, anything in this video that Sunny V2's done has not been anything different. Whereas if you look at Patrick's video, even though it's 37 minutes long and Sunny's only 12 minutes, Patrick went to a lot of effort to find clips and stuff that haven't been used, whereas this guy basically just tells a story of Seagal that everyone would know. To a 3.5 million odd people who may not have seen it before. That's all it is, and that's why he'll get way more views than Patrick Garvia will. Even though the documentary that we watched, and I highly recommend you guys watch it again, is way better than this. And I'm not dissing Sunny V2. It's his market. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy. His content at one stage was all right. I think it's kind of just now just pandering to people. But again, different markets. Whereas, like I said, it's just meant for the universal person to love, and it's nothing phenomenal or crazy about it.
Jean LaBelle, who not only
most of you guys won't hear anything in this video that you don't already know. Let me put it that way.
Choked Seagal out instantly, but also caused Seagal to soil himself in the moments he was blacking out.
Yeah, look,
when asked about
Rousey's
the incident,
alright.
stated,
I don't find
sometimes
her
Steven
that
has a
attractive.
tendency to cheese
Probably
off the
because she
wrong
snapped my arm in
people,
half.
and you can get hurt by doing that.
And she tried to
so
hit
if a
on
guy
too.
soils himself, you can't.
First of all, Rousey, again, like I said, she'd destroy me. But also, she was going to hook up with Turtle in Entourage, man. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck hooks up with Turtle?
Criticize him because if they just had a nice big dinner an hour before, you might have a tendency to do that. Seagal responded by claiming that he and LaBelle had never even fought.
There was never ever any confrontation with him ever. And if Gene is saying shit like that, he should be ashamed of himself. And so if he said that, he is a pathological scumbag liar.
Although nobody believes Seagal's side of the story, as he has his own list of well-documented lies. For example, Seagal made the insane claim that he was honored as the first private citizen to destroy a nuclear device, whilst also claiming he was recruited by the CIA to help carry out undercover missions.
If anyone doesn't know about that, Seagal basically paid a lot of money to have some kind of nuclear bomb that was sitting there for a while disarmed, and therefore was officially the first human to the private citizen, to disarm a nuclear bomb, which is just bullshit. Basically, he paid money. Same way he became a Tulku, a Rinpoche, a Lama, a fucking deity. He paid money and sucked someone's peanut.
That I became an advisor to several CIA agents in the field, and through my friends in the CIA met many powerful people and did special works
Kelly,
and
which
special
animated
favors,
movie are you
although
talking
an
about?
investigation by a magazine found these claims were completely
been a few.
bogus. It also dispelled the myth that Seagal once fought the Yakuza in his dojo, as the magazine interviewed Seagal's ex-wife who stated it's a lie. He once chased a few drunks away from the dojo, but never was involved with the Yakuza. Similarly, Seagal made the claim that he was a tough kid who was feared by others, yet this was dispelled by his own mother, who stated her son was frail and suffered from asthma. He was a puny kid back then, although Seagal had a plan to clarify exactly what was fact and fiction. He'd post a Reddit Ask Me Anything.
By the way, I did a video about an AMA, and if you guys haven't seen it, I think you should watch it, only because the comments that these fucking people made and the questions that they wrote were fucking hilarious. I'm pretty sure Sonny won't cover it because it's a very, like I said, middle of the road kind of for everybody video. But go and watch my AMA. It's basically, I think the title is when you host and Ask Me Anything, something like that. Steven Seagal AMA. If you type that in, it'll come up. Some of the questions that people asked were fucking, or the comments were hilarious.
Likely expecting normal questions. However, the responses would only deepen the past that was already haunting him. What kind of pants were you wearing when Jean LaBelle choked you unconscious and caused you to shit your pants?
That's what I mean. What kind of pants were you wearing when Jean LaBelle choked you unconscious and caused you to shit? That's the kind of quality comments you get from people. But this guy's can't show the more extreme ones. I did in the video, so at some point,
I personally know a stuntman who had all of his front teeth knocked out by you and said you didn't even apologize. Why did you do that? Can you explain?
I mean, one of the people was writing something about, is it true that you had someone holding a shade to shield you from your neck fat from the sun, like that kind of shit, yeah?
Explain how you developed the front kick that
post a link, man. Alright, one sec, hold on. Fucking making me go and post links and shit. Alright, hold on. I mean, how do I find shit? I don't even know how to find shit. AMA. Let's see if that comes up. Alright, I'm gonna post a fucking link in this shit. Let's see if I can fucking... Alright, who was that that asked me for the link? Anyway, well done, because you made me actually have to do it. How do I paste? I can't post a link in this shit, bro. Won't let me. I'm like, share video, get shareable link, and then I come over here and I'm trying to post that fucking thing. Oh, no, there we go. Alright, there we go. Okay, so that link I posted is for the fucking AMA about Seagal. Don't watch it now, watch it after. Click it and then watch it after. But some of the questions and the statements these people make, God bless the
Silver
internet.
used in his UFC fight, although there was one more question that was worse than any other. Hey there, I went to the same junior high school as you in Fullerton, CA many years later. Heard some stories. The one I would like to ask you about is when your social studies teacher caught you stealing lunch money from a kid in a wheelchair. True, I didn't make this up.
Alright, now stopping right now. Who believes Sensei Seagal stole the lunch money from the kid in the wheelchair? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is going to be. But do you guys really think he stole the lunch money from that kid in the wheelchair? I need some answers. One. We should just play that for the next content. Yeah, good idea, Joker. I'll put that bit on. Good idea. The AMA video. Fucking hilarious. Alright, so basically
Seagal understandably avoided the damning questions. However, by answering some of the easy ones, he'd introduce another flaw. His massive ego. What is your current biggest drive that motivates you? I am a champion and I want to remain a champion. Seagal's overinflated self-image was best shown in this interview, where he'd implied that Van Damme wasn't a good martial artist.
You see what I mean? Like Sunny V2's video, is there anything in this video that you guys haven't seen either with myself or in the video we just watched for 37 minutes with the other guy? Like, nothing in this video, it's not a bad video, but there's just nothing in this that is
Seagal unsurprisingly
special.
Stated it was
like me squashing an ant. If he sees me, he runs.
It's therefore no surprise that Seagal despises Van Damme.
Thoughts on Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Can I laugh in your face? Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy?
I feel sorry for you, John.
However, Van Damme has only ever said positive things about Seagal in return.
Met the guy a few times. He's a nice guy. Doesn't like me much. I like him a lot.
John, you're a bit of a character, man. I like it.
Eyes got something special on the screen.
Another example of Steven Seagal's ego came from a story told by Rob Schneider.
Finally, Steven Seagal emerges, and he comes out and he said, I just read the greatest script I've ever read in my life. He goes, really?
Now that Rob Schneider story, which
I did,
which only becomes
that Rob Schneider story that he told, I'll be willing to bet both of my nutsacks that was 100% true. There is no way that Sensei did not say that the best script he's read is that something that he's written. I'll be willing to bet my nutsack.
It's funnier once you realize that said best script ever was for his terrible performance on Saturday Night Live.
Listen to me carefully. I don't want you to talk about anything to me anymore. I don't want you to say my name anymore.
With atrocious lines such as that one, it's no surprise a long-term SNL employee called Seagal
worst host by lapped
every bad host.
However, Seagal's hosting of another show somehow ended even worse. In 2009, Seagal told the LA Times...
By the way, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but these videos about Seagal, there's been about 3 in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So for some reason, I don't know why, all of a sudden he's a hot commodity lately. Obviously, I know why, because it's Seagal. But all of a sudden lately, there's been a lot of videos released about Seagal. It's like everyone's thinking that Seagal is a hot topic, so they started talking shit about him. It's like, fuck off. Come up with your own ideas, you fuckers. There's only one person who reveres Seagal the true way, and that's the Seagalians. The rest of you are just mocking our Lord.
He'd apparently been a policeman for more than 20 years,
Yeah,
proving this by showing a black and white photo of him raising his right hand in what looks like a swearing-in ceremony, creating the impression it was taken when he first joined the department. At closer inspection, however, it appears the photo was taken 20 years and at least 20 pounds after the fact, casting doubt on whether Seagal had ever been part of the force. Regardless, this led Seagal to create a show called Lawman, where he and his crew went around apprehending criminals, often done with excessive force to make for enjoyable viewing. Well, in one episode, Seagal attempts to break up an illegal cockfighting operation by raiding a house with a tank with the goal of freeing the animals.
Democracy is one of my pet peeves.
However, after doing so, the property's owner Jesus Sanchez Uvera quickly filed a $100,000 lawsuit which claims that more than 100 prize chickens being bred for show were killed by Seagal and his colleagues. An 11-month-old puppy was also shot and killed during the early morning raid. Seagal responded by stating, "I've been called a lot of things in my career, some of them not so kind. But to be labelled an animal abuser is beyond the pale, and that is simply a role I will not accept." While another policeman stated, "If my deputies, or posseman Seagal for that matter, had done something so awful like shooting a family dog, then where are the photos to prove it?" It seemed for the first time ever Seagal wasn't actually lying.
Yeah, like I was just saying,
However,
it's a mainstream one.
that would end the
After
show
this, we're going to watch...
completely.
Actually, fuck
In
it, we're going to stop it now.
mid-2010, Steven Seagal was...
Fuck Seagal shit. We're going to watch the... Fuck, how do I even find this shit? I suppose on my own channel, yeah? So do you guys basically see everything that's on the screen right now? Is that how it works, or... Oh. When you... Alright. So this is a video about the AMA I made. I think when videos was released and he was pretending Alex Burr, that's when people started talking about him, bro. Maybe, but that was like a few weeks ago. Nobody cares, you have no... Not accepting it is irrelevant. Nobody cares, you have no accountability. I don't know what that means, but okay. Hi, I'm Ben. I don't know what that means, but okay. This is the AMA video. I made this, a year ago. That's how long ago it was. I took the thumbnail is literally Cartman taking a shit in Seagal's mouth.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special...
So this is a year ago. So this is probably early days.
report.
What's up, yo? This is Steve.
Oh yeah, this was me pretending to be Seagal. I shaved my goatee. As you can see now, I've got a goatee. But at the time, timing-wise, I just happened to shave it. What? Your screen about the dog thing. I don't know what that means. Anyway, there's too much shit going on about the dog thing. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I shaved my goatee off at the time. This is me being Sensei Seagal. Let me know if the volume's alright.
This one said I really support all the work y'all are doing here. Think y'all are doing great work, and I endorse this channel and the peasant that's in charge of this channel. I ain't finna keep watching, but I might come back and visit y'all.
Good call, John.
The river always flows until it doesn't flow anymore. Peace.
Yeah, I just, you know...
Welcome back, you brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Matthew. This is back in the days when I first started. I didn't really care about showing my face back then. Not that it matters anymore anyway, obviously with this live. But the plan was to just stay incognito. Even though I did show myself in the George Dillman video to thank everybody. But, yeah, too low. Okay, so too low. Turn it up a bit. Is it?
Anything crazy men and women. Wow, what an inspirational message from the Chosen One, and what an absolute treat to have him address us. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more random appearances from Sensei Seagal in the future. You're all here because you're smart enough to recognize the value that Sensei Seagal brings to the future world. The spiritual uprising creeps ever so
the
closer
grave
every
reader,
day.
yeah, the plant, right? It's a great line.
Today we're going back 6 or 7 years when some moron in Seagal's camp decided that holding an AMA, and Ask Me Anything, was a smart idea.
Not a great plan.
Papa Seagal was releasing another one of his high-quality action flicks, Code of Honor.
I'm not all about the money, I'm all about the honor.
And decided to promote it by hosting an AMA on Reddit. To those of you that are unfamiliar, an AMA, or Ask Me Anything, is exactly as it sounds. People ask that celebrity anything
I haven't seen the
live.
Steven Scott podcast.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Now, whether it was Seagal himself or a member of his team is something we may never know. But I know deep within my heart that it was Big Daddy Seagal reading these comments with his beady little eyes behind these orange-tinted glasses. I like to think he cried a little bit. We all know Seagal is a man of the people, and the fans love him. You can see from this footage.
This is him having footage taken with him and fans. Let's just watch and appreciate how much he's a dick.
It's the bond he has with people.
Look at his face.
But
look at his fucking face. No part of him wants to be there taking photos. What a douche.
How much
legendary douche
do they love him? Some of these comments, bless their souls, are hilarious. It was a tough choice selecting the ones to put in the video. Depending on how it goes, I may make a second one just full of.
Let me know if you guys want me to make a second one, by the way. I didn't even delve into. I've got to pause it before I talk. Let me know if you guys want me to make a second one because there's so much more in the fucking AMA to do a whole second or third video about, honestly.
Before we get into the demolition of Seagal's, if I may take uno momento to ask you to please like and subscribe, as it really helps this little cult in its aim of replacing Scientology as the most authentic religion out there.
Right, you guys enjoy the AMA video. I'm going to go out and have a few tokes of this bad boy because I don't smoke inside my condo. I'll be back
as
in a
mentioned
minute.
earlier, Papa Seagal was in Thailand promoting Code of Honor, a movie that we haven't covered yet, but we will very soon. By all accounts, the AMA session didn't last very long, about 15 to 20 minutes, and most of the comments and questions are, well...
Fantastic. It's brilliant, mate. It's fucking brilliant. Off you go.
Hi everyone, this is Steven Seagal. Yes, really, live from Bangkok, and I'm ready for your questions. I kicked some serious ass in my new movie, Code of Honor, in theaters and on demand tomorrow, May the 6th. How long did it take you to realize this was a mistake? LMAFO. Pretty quickly, seeing he disappeared after 20 minutes or so. Praise me, Lord Seagal. This is going to be brilliant. He was there for less than an hour. Awesome. I got him in about 15 minutes. Stellar effort, you fat fuck. You're not even convincing as a human being, let alone a martial artist or actor. Or rapper. I didn't know Seagal was a rapper. Oh wait, Punani.
When the girls start to strut, you could look at their butt, you shouldn't do that. The girl dress is just as pretty, not just there to cover her.
Too busy banging Thai prostitutes and not answering real questions. A little bit of contention about how long Seagal was actually there, but that final comment shows how much fans truly know Seagal.
I want you to take me someplace where I can find some drugs and some women.
Now let's move on and take a look at some straightforward one-liners. Simple, direct. Where do you buy your hair?
Yeah, I just,
I can answer that. He doesn't. He paints it on.
I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian.
Are you a sociopathic asshole?
Yeah.
I think we all know the answer to that. Why do you run like a girl?
Shut the fuck up.
That's a fair point. He does run like a girl. Back when he actually moved around in movies and wasn't just a deranged land whale. Why are you such a see you next Tuesday? Now, whilst I may agree with their message and its meaning, the execution and delivery was poor, and to me, shows someone who has no class. Now, this comment, on the other hand...
I actually find this shit fun. It's like I'm just literally hanging out with my mates and shit back in Australia. And I can get pissed and smoke and just talk to a bunch of random fuckers, even though it doesn't feel like you're random, like you're all my mates.
Evan, you're my absolute hero. I've watched everything you've ever been in, from
This is fucking great. Please watch this bit.
Nico, to Out for Justice, to Exit Wounds, to Attack Force, to Lawman, to getting laughed at in live interviews wearing ballistic glasses, to getting accused of kidnap and torture, to not being able to fit through doors anymore.
The question.
My question is, can I your dick or watch you my sister?
I mean, just randomly as a question, it's fucking hilarious. Come on. I don't care how much of a prude you are, that's just fucking funny.
My question is, can I your dick or watch you my sister?
Smoke up, Ben, smoke up.
Now, that individual is extremely complex and disturbed, but at least they took the time to construct a thoughtful sentence and question,
it's good fun catching
not just calling him a C-word. So while Big Daddy Seagal was there, he answered about 5 questions before jumping off the sinking pile of shit idea that, once again, someone sat there and thought,
a brilliant idea.
Any advice for your actors?
Literally, before we get to this, who the fuck thought that it was a good idea for Seagal to sit there and answer questions from the general public, not even in his prime, knowing that he's a washed up fucking sitting down, someone does his walking stunts for him kind of shit.
Seagal replied, it's a very hard road
What's going on, Glowing? How are you, brother? Good to see you, my man.
Understanding and understand whoever gets the role isn't necessarily the best, but who you know. Now that sounds like the ramblings of Seagal for sure.
I'm Russian. My family are from Vladivostok and Belarus and, Vladimir Putin.
There were some really intelligent questions mixed in here also, and those are what Seagal answered, of course.
Bullshit, motherfucker!
Mr. Seagal, would you rather fight 100 my-side Steven Seagal?
What the fuck? Who asked this kind of question? First of all, the name is Motherfucking Cookies, so I gotta respect the name of the guy who wrote the question, right? Motherfucking Cookies. But how high was this motherfucker when he asked this question?
Or one Steven Seagal-sized mouse?
Nigga, what?
One buddy rather than 100. I mean, one Seagal-sized mouse would be a fucking huge mouse. 100 my-sized Steven Seagals. Now that's a movie I can get behind. That's shit I would like to see. Why don't...
Alright, tell me that everyone's not loving a movie with 1,000 my-sized Steven Seagals running around. I don't know what kind of plot it would be. It can't be any fucking better or worse than the shit he does now, let's be honest. Which has no plot other than him being a special forces dickwad. But 1,000 little fucking rodent Seagals running around, nibbling at shit, I'm for it. I'm all for it.
Him and his money laundering mates make that movie.
I want to see that. You want to see that?
And of course, you are all aware of Seagal's musical prowess.
Once there was a king who lived in a foreign land.
Lived in a foreign land. And riches and gold. It's sad that I actually know the fucking words to all of his songs.
Riches and gold, the envy of every man.
Envy of every man.
An interested fan thought they would inquire about Seagal's musical origins. Hey there, Sensei Seagal. Hey, this guy knows.
My name. He knows my name.
Big fan of your work. Just wanted to ask you about your musical abilities. When, where, and how did you start playing the guitar? Also, what musician was the most fun to collaborate with?
I started playing guitar in Detroit in the 50s, and I was in an all-black band.
So that's where, again, it comes from him himself. Nobody's making this shit up other than him. I better put my phone on charge. This motherfucker's making this shit up. So he started playing in Detroit in guitar in Detroit in the 50s in an all-black band. He was born in 1952, April 10th, 1952. How do I know this? Because I am the foremost authority on Seagal. Therefore, if he was playing guitar in Detroit and was in an all-black band in the 50s, he would have been under 10 years fucking old. So, yeah. Yeah.
Collaborate with.
I started playing guitar in Detroit in the 50s, and I was in an all-black band.
I was pretty fucking high when I did that.
I feel like I'm talking to a retarded child.
Alright, nobody asked you what colour or race anybody was, but thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I have some Italian on my mother's side. I'm Russian. My family are from Vladivostok and Belarus and, Vladimir Putin. I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian.
My father was a Russian Mongol, so these people are Russian Mongols.
I am a little bit Asian.
Okay.
Some guy with a guitar. I wish he would see this shit. He's probably the one that got me shadow banned or whatever the hell happened to my channel.
By no means less entertaining comments out of the way.
It's got something to do with him.
I worked at Blockbuster about a decade.
Seagal would have friends in high places. He would have... I mean, you got to figure at some point, someone that knows Seagal must have seen one of my videos, yeah? Not necessarily the smaller ones, but I've had... So the most views I've had on one of my... Oh, I'll fucking show you guys anyway. I mean, we can fucking do this. You know, we might as well do full disclosure here. So, the most popular video I've had is this one here, where people trash Seagal. 1.7 million views. Then I've had 884, 727, 366. All of these would have some sort of clip of Seagal being trashed at some point. Especially the top one, obviously, it's everyone bagging Seagal. So at some point, someone he knows must have seen some of the shit going on here. My fucking channel is called Sensei Seagal. Even a tubby bitch like him would still have friends in high places to some degree, right? Like, I mean, more than I would. I don't have anyone. I'm a nobody. So, is it likely that he may have said, hey, fuck this guy for talking shit about me? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's Seagal. He's not Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. But he's got money. He's got a lot more money than I do. So, who knows? Anyway, back to the... Where were we? No, not that one. Not that one. Where was somewhere? There we go.
There to go. Every 3 months, we had to throw away 1 billion copies of whatever movie you made in order to make room for the next movie you made that nobody ever rented. Gilly from the next contribution to Waste Management Mountains Everywhere, this is...
The thing is, J.A. Finn, again, I showed a video before on the live, I don't mind my views dropping. They're not always going to go up, I get it. People are going to get sick of your shit, people are going to think you're boring, their interest will change. I get it. Yeah, I don't always watch the same shit. My watch feed changes depending on what I'm interested in. But it doesn't usually go from like, you know, getting 50 odd subs a day to then getting negative subs for the next week. And your views dropping from 20,000 to like, you know, a 90% drop. Again, I understand it can happen, it fluctuates, but just the speed in which it happened was very soon. And like I said, it was very strange. Like the videos that were getting great views, all of a sudden just disappeared off the face of the earth. And again, the YouTube's explanation is that they show your videos to a certain demographic, and then once those people are done, they show it to people who may not be interested in your videos, and it gets less views, which I get it. But I've seen videos that have like bullshito videos that have millions and millions and millions of views. So anyway, I don't think people have stopped caring about bullshito videos all of a sudden. But it is what it is. It doesn't matter. Regardless, I'm playing on YouTube's field. It's not my playing field. I didn't make the rules. They make the rules. Whether I like it or not, I got to play by their fucking rules. Until there's a competitor that can come along and say, "Fuck you, YouTube. We're going to let people say what they want, and you can't do anything about it." I'm bound by their rules. So my job is to try and make videos that honestly I enjoy making. That's the first goal. And that when I make videos, I make them in the hope that you guys like them. That's my first goal. And then I hope that... thank you, he's well cool. You're a friend too, mate. And I hope that other people... I make them so that you guys like them first and foremost. That's all I give a fuck about. Because without any of you guys, none of this shit would be... I wouldn't be here. It doesn't matter who's coming on board in future. If it wasn't for you guys coming now, anybody else wouldn't even see me. So my goal is to make shit that you guys like. That's why I always ask for feedback. And then ideally also to get new people on board, new Seagalians. By Ben. What's by Ben? I must have missed something in the chat then. Who's Ben? Oh, I have to go, but take care, you're the best. Yeah, thanks Ben, you're a legend too, mate. So anyway, my point is I try and make things that are for you guys, obviously about Seagal, and you guys kind of have a bit of idea what I'm like now. I don't try and get political and shit, but obviously I have my own beliefs and my own thoughts. It doesn't, just because I think something, it doesn't mean that what you think is I don't give a fuck about. It's just what I think, yeah? Like, I mean, all this stuff that goes on about politics and the genders and all that kind of... I don't get any of that shit. Like, we're all fucking humans. We all got to survive. But we also got to live together in reality to some extent. So, yeah, I think we just argue about... We've got things too easily now. We can walk into a supermarket and buy our food. So we argue about if there's a critical race theory or whether or not people should have their own toilets. Man, if everyone had to fucking survive and hunt their own food, none of this shit would be a fucking issue. We'd all be too worried about trying to put food on the table and spending time with our fucking loved ones. But anyway, I digress again. I don't like to get political because I don't really give a shit about politics. I think Democrat, Republican, in Australia we have Labour or Liberal. None of them really give a fuck about the average person. Their job is to make their rich mates richer. That's what I believe. We need to look after ourselves and our immediate community because these motherfuckers don't give a shit about us. The Rock, all these kind of rich fucking... They don't give a shit about any of us, man. Beyonce, none of them give a shit about us. We need to look after ourselves and look after your immediate community because these pieces of shit just want your money, yeah? They just literally want your money and your fucking attention. Anyway, again, digressing, sorry people. I don't know if that was counted as political. That was more of a humanity speech about people being pieces of shits, but yeah. Anyway, back to the video. This guy's working at Blockbuster. He's been on the screen for a while.
Still happening. When do you plan to stop? Is there anything we can do to quicken this before your carbon footprint steps right through the earth? If Blockbuster was around today, I'm pretty sure Seagal's movies would have their own special bin. I live in Vancouver and know a ton of people who have worked on films with you. Is it true that you insist on...
You know what, Danny, Gast? I can't stand Bert Kreischer. I don't give a shit what anyone says. No part of me thinks that motherfucker is funny. Taking his shirt off and saying a bunch of shit, and again, if anyone likes him, that's fine. Humor is subjective, yeah? Some people might find me amusing, some people might think I'm a total dickhead. That's fine. But Bert Kreischer is one of the least funny people I've ever come across who thinks he's the funniest guy ever. It just shits me up the world. Glowing, yeah, bro. I'm enjoying it out here, man. It's all right. I can't complain, mate. The culture here is nice. The people are lovely. My girlfriend's a dream. She suits my personality. So, look, mate, I'm happy. Like I said, after coming back from a funeral in burying one of my closest brothers, I thought about life and how fickle it can be, as they say, and how tomorrow is not guaranteed, but today is. So I'm trying to adopt that kind of mentality, you know. Thank you for asking, my friend. I'm not going to argue with the Joker. Yeah, Segura sucks a bit of balls too. All these Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz kind of shits me up the wall. I don't mind Shane Gillis. Andrew Schultz thinks he's more important than he is. I'm going to actually make a video about him on my other channel, the Dunning-Kruger channel. He, for some reason, because people get attention and views, they actually think that they're smart and that their opinion actually means something. Sensei lightning bolt with your hands there. Mate, you can buy a lightning bolt online. It's probably very expensive though. Thank you for watching, Elise. You're a legend. Female Seagalians. Shout out to the female Seagalians. There's a lot of males here, but you don't see too many female Seagalians. So respect to you guys for finding this weird shit amusing. Much love and respect to y'all, sisters. Anyway, back to this.
Blocking many scenes, so you can be sitting the whole time because you're too lazy.
By the way, this is great. I should rewind it.
Is it true that you insist on blocking many scenes, so you can be sitting the whole time because you're too lazy to stand up?
Yeah.
Is it true that you insist that productions hire someone to hold a card to properly shadow your horrific neck fat?
Yeah.
Cliff Gray, I'm in Jomtien, mate, just south of Pattaya towards Bangsaray.
Is it true you're still an unbearable dick who bullies everyone on set and acts like you're an A-list star, even though you're starring in a shitty C-list movie?
I got a lot of money.
What's it like being 500 pounds and in an action movie? What's the ratio to you and your stunt double in the movie? 30 to 70?
See, these last two questions alone. This guy here.
What's the ratio?
I mean, we all know Seagal's stunt double does all the fucking work.
To you and your stunt double in the movie? 30 to 70? That's being generous. I think it's unfair to assume Sensei Seagal doesn't do his own stunts. Sitting down in a chair for the duration of a movie is still considered a stunt. Everyone knows sitting for long periods is...
So, have you guys, I don't know, again, I made the video about Lightning Bolt, the energy drink, probably about a year ago. It was one of my early videos. I mean, some of those videos I really need to, like the musical video, I need to redo the musical video because I did that in my early stage when I didn't quite understand YouTube and how to do shit and editing. So it was very basic. I didn't spend enough time going through his musical fucking prowess, genius, whatever you want to call it. So I would like to go back and spend a bit more time on that and maybe do another fresh video. I don't know if y'all think it's a good idea, let me know. But in this video here, it's Lightning Bolt, where he did his energy drink, as you know. And there was a hot Australian Asian bird, or half decent one, in the pool. And obviously he hired a hot Russian bird to...
Extremely dangerous and can cause cramping,
around.
as well as an unhealthy fascination with carrots.
They were both in bikinis the whole time. I can only imagine what happened post-shooting. I mean, you know, Big Daddy.
I love the fuck out of cookies.
Cookie! Nom, nom, nom.
Let's finish off this little tribute from the fans with a few short, sharp, positive comments.
Okay, here we go.
Speed round.
Speed round time, people.
Fight! Positive comments. Speed round.
Sometimes I just like to put Big Daddy's head on random people. For those of you who are probably too old for that, that's Sailor Moon back in the day. I think that's how Seagal would picture himself if he was a female. I think I'm pretty stoned at the moment, but yeah.
Fight! Do you live in Thailand because you're a pedophile, or just because you're so embarrassed by your terrible movies and general personality?
I mean, come on. That's a fucking great question. Spot on. Pretty accurate, if we're being honest. I mean, the guy's got his finger on the pulse. Maybe a bit too much, but he's got his finger on the pulse.
Because you're a pedophile, or just because you're so embarrassed by your terrible movies and general personality? How did it feel to beat Kelly LeBrock? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Nah, J.O. I don't change my voice. I will say one thing though. When I talk in the script, obviously I say it a certain way, and my cadence and my tone and my flow is different because it's scripted. But generally, I talk the same kind of shit. It's just it'll be phrased in a different way, and I might say like, "And right now, Seagal decides it's time to shit on someone's face, even though he shouldn't." Same voice though, just kind of different tone, yeah. Because it's scripted, it's a little bit different.
Pretty sure he fears scales.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I mean, if honestly, if anyone actually thinks that this shit is AI, like that's a compliment to me. That's a compliment to me that you think a fucking intelligent robot who thinks at a billion times a second is going to say the shit that comes out of this bald fucking middle-aged fucking pudgy dickhead's mouth. Like, it's hilarious. But yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
How do you like Bangkok? You are the legend. I am also again here, and I will buy you a drink. It would be an honor for me. Send me PM. I love it.
Ben, you're all good, brother. I love you too, my man. Thank you for being here.
I like the culture, the people, the architecture.
And the chicks with dicks, am I right?
Again, can we just appreciate, how do you like Bangkok? You are the legend. I am also again here, and I will buy you a drink. It would be an honor for me. Send me PM. I love it. I like the culture, the people, the architecture, and the chicks with dicks. Am I right? I mean, fucking come on. This is why the internet is legendary.
Culture, the people, the architecture.
And the chicks with dicks. Am I right? Brilliant.
Damn!
By the way, Kelly LeBrock was his wife for a period after they met on the set of Hard to Kill. She was a beautiful, beautiful woman, and I cannot...
Kelly LeBrock. She comes up in a lot of videos. Sledgehammer, you're a fucking legend, mate. I appreciate it, brother. I don't know if you've seen the whole video, but given everything that's happening, I do appreciate it, mate, more than ever. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody. Regardless of whether or not you send super thanks or Patreon, I appreciate the support. But especially to those people that do that little bit extra, because they can. I understand not everyone can or wants to, that's fine. But those that do, I truly appreciate it, especially when, like I said, YouTube bends me over, grabs a pool cue and sticks it right in there. So thank you very much. But back to Kelly LeBrock right now. How the fuck, even subjectively, even if you don't, women, everyone finds different women attractive, yeah? But I mean, just someone explain to me how this fuck ended up with her. I just
for the life of me understand why she was
just can't get. I just don't get it. Someone tell me. Someone. Anyone work it out? Kristen Frost laser beams. What was Kelly LeBrock thinking? Any other ladies out there in the group right now? I don't know if you're there. Any ladies? Like the one we said before, I forgot her name, sorry, young lady. There was a lady earlier who said female. Any female Seagalians, what the fuck was she thinking? Obviously, the hairline attracts her. I get that, the hairline, and she's probably seen him run. But besides the running and the hairline, and maybe the crotch picture with him in the jeans, what the fuck is going on?
The only possible explanation is that Seagal must be hung.
Good point, Chloe. He didn't groom her because she wasn't that much younger than him. Unless he found her as a baby 20 years ago and started doing that shit. It wasn't grooming, bro. I don't get it. Someone explain to me. Atia, he was not fit. He just wasn't fat. There's a difference. No part of him was fit. He was not fat, but he was not fit.
Besides, you want so much to live for. Please wake up.
Moving on now.
3 hours later.
What's the weirdest thing you ever...
Kitty, you know, not a bad explanation. I would, if I was going to hazard a guess, by the way, the question on the screen, the question on the screen right now is fucking hilarious, but we'll get to that in a second. If I was to hazard a guess on how he ended up with Kelly LeBrock, I would imagine it was because maybe they had the same kind of, what's called, movie studio kind of shit going on. Like, what's her name? The Twilight people, the bisexual girl. I don't know her name, Kirsten, whatever her name was, fucking Bella, and the dude who had the sparkly face, who played Batman, they were together, right? But they didn't fucking like each other and shit. That's all bullshit. That was just because everyone wanted to see them together, right? So maybe there was a little bit of, I don't know, the studios putting them together because it made sense. I don't know, am I rambling? Does this make sense? It's Hollywood, for fuck's sake. Okay, so she had severe disassociation. Okay, so she had some issues. Yeah, dude, Kelly LeBrock was hot, man. Like, weird science and shit. Everyone knows that. Some women have low self-esteem. Yes, Deanna, I get that. But those women usually don't know that they're super attractive or they're not super attractive. Attractive women don't usually have low self-esteem unless they've been... thanks, Joker. Yep. Unless they've been, like, ground down by a guy and had their self-esteem smashed. If they're attractive, they generally know they're attractive. Yeah, probably did seem like a good idea. Probably for her career, his career. I don't know. Anyway, back to the question. What's the weirdest thing you've ever done to your Russian sex slaves? I mean...
done to your Russian sex slaves? Actually, hold on a minute.
Привет, дорогая.
Привет, дорогой. Это тебе. Сестричка, я сейчас к тебе присоединюсь. Милый, могу я пойти и поплавать в латневой водичке?
Конечно.
Now, would you mind if I got in the pool with my sister? First of all, she's Asian. She's blonde-haired Russian. I want to swim in Steven Seagal's lightning bolt too. Now, who thinks that Steven Seagal's lightning bolt is a euphemism for some other kind of liquid that comes? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going with that. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to grab a drink. Yes. I'll be back in a minute, y'all. This is awesome.
I knew the woman from this lightning bolt commercial was a slave of his. I knew it. The answer to this man's question? Being in that commercial. That's the weirdest and worst thing she's had to do.
You poor bitch.
And lastly, how does it feel to do an AMA and find out only 6 people actually like you? I didn't count 6. I couldn't find one.
They don't give a damn about you. They don't like you. I don't like you. The girl don't like you. Nobody likes you.
It's always good to end on a positive note. Thank you again for watching and joining our band of merry Seagalians. And if you haven't subscribed, do it or I'll get Seagal after you. The next video will be a movie recap of what I hear is Seagal's most brilliant performance. And by that, I mean it is rat shit.
I didn't get to finish the video, so...
Until next time.
Alright, I'm gonna put one more on, and then I'll let you all go away because I'm not sure how long I don't want to fucking hold you up for too long. It's been 2 hours. I don't know how long the live go for, but I don't want to fucking overdo shit. People will get over it, etc., etc. It tasted so bad you couldn't even mix a drink with it. I wish I actually got to taste, what's it called? His lightning bolt energy drink. So what was the first video I ever made? Was that the first video I ever made? It could have been. First video I ever made Why does it not go by date? The first video I ever made would have been... We did touch on Space Ice a little bit. I sent him an email hoping that he would do a collaboration with me, but he has not responded yet, unfortunately. So we can only hope that he will respond eventually. I was thinking we might watch the very first video I ever put on this channel. Like literally the very first video that I ever put on this channel. And then after that I think we'll call it a night. It's only 10 minutes, so it's not much longer. If anyone wants to stick around and watch the origins of how this shit started. Again, these could probably be redone, to be honest with you. Because they've been a while ago now, but let's see how we go. Goji berries make you shit faster than a lightning bolt. Well, good point, Humongous. This is my very first video.
The kind of guy you wish you could be. If Hitler were alive today, Seagal would be held up as the ultimate specimen. And I know what you're thinking.
You fan of Steven Seagal?
Of course I'm a fan. Show me one sane person that isn't. There are 3 things that make up almost every Seagal movie. Oscar quality factors. 1. Sitting down or driving whenever.
I know, Glowing. I'm hoping we can get a collaboration going, but it's up to him. Here's the thing, and I said this to him in the email. I said this to Space Ice. I mean, a lot of my community would like a team up, and I'm sure a lot of yours might mention me. Not a lot. Some of your community might mention me. And I also explained to him that I realize that it's more of an advantage to me. He has 10 times the subscriber base that I do. He has like 340,000, yeah? I've got 36,000 and apparently losing subscribers at the moment, according to YouTube. Yeah, I think I will, Joker. I think I'll remix some of the old styles. But I said him on being honest, saying, look, it's more of an advantage to me, but I think it'll also help you, you know, broaden your subscriber base a little bit, and we'll see if he gets back to me or not. There's not much I can do about it, but yeah. Again, this is the original when
Wherever.
I didn't really know too much. I didn't really know too much about editing, audio mixing, or any of that kind of stuff, and I still don't know a lot, but I'm starting to learn a little bit more as we go along, yeah. So this is literally the very first video I ever made, which should be redone, because I remember watching this movie and thinking, fuck, I could have done a better job of that, in hindsight.
2. Insisting he does all of his own stunts, with no doubles, and
Red Eyes is alright. I like Red Eyes. I don't know if I'd be too full on for his channel, though. I don't know if he'd want to pair up with me, because I swear a lot, and I do a lot of risque shit, whereas Red Eyes is very... it's funny as shit, don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but I think he's a little less offensive than I am, and I don't know if he'd want to do it with me. I guess Humongous, you can ask him, mate, he's your mate.
Perfectly choreographed action scenes. 3. Young, hot women who generally need his help and are helpless to the lure of his hot rod.
Besides, you've got so much...
Rutten versus Seagal. You want to see Rutten versus Seagal, eh? that was one of my favorites, because I remember watching that Baz Rutten video literally probably 20 years ago when it first came out, yeah, and it was fucking hilarious. And YouTube made me... I had to re-upload this shit, by the way. The original Baz Rutten video had like 50,000 views in 2 days, and then I had to re-upload it due to YouTube being a pain in the ass. And yeah, they fucked
This
it all up.
is Baz Rutten, and he doesn't belong in the Bushido-verse.
Hello and welcome to Baz Rutten's...
By the way, just look at his right hand. It looks like it's all stiff, like he's got cerebral palsy or some shit, but he's hiding a fucking knife.
And he doesn't belong in the Bushido-verse.
Hello and welcome to Baz Rutten's...
Joker, mate, you're being too much of a mad bastard tonight. You're a legend, mate. I appreciate it. Seriously, you're too good, mate. You're a champion, and thanks for showing up and fucking commenting all the time, mate. I see, like I said to you, there's a lot of you guys I see all the time, and I'm not going to mention you all, but Humongous, Joker, man, Mayhem Slim, Glowing, Rabbit. There's heaps. Atia. There's so many. If I don't say you, it's not because I haven't thought of you. It's just because there's so many names. And I see all you guys commenting all the time. And And it's not, and even more recently, people like, your Kellys, your Cat the Fantastics, your Quick for Games. Again, there's so many of you guys. Eric, I don't want to not say you guys and think that I don't know, but there's just too many for me to mention. But I do appreciate all of you guys, and I do like the fact that even if my videos give you a moment of levity from the bullshit in the world and all the serious drama and the politics, then job done, yeah. Like then I'm happy, and as long as everyone's happy.
Lethal street fighting self-defense system. Let me tell you first that I've been around. I've been a bouncer for many years.
By the way, according to Baz, I listened to him on a few podcasts. He's never lost a street fight, this motherfucker, and I believe him. Yeah, you're a legend, Joker. I actually fucking the scripture. You're a legend. You're the day of ascension will come for you, my friend. I believe Baz Rutter when he says no one's ever beaten him, because he looks like the kind of savage motherfucker that you just would not fuck with.
Years, and I've been fighting in the ring, as you know, so I know my things.
Unlike Sensei Snow White, Baz Rutten is one of those people who has legitimate fight training, participated in actual combat and brawls, and looks like the kind of bloke you definitely don't want to mess with.
Look, sir, I really don't want anything of this, and I go like this, and I slit your throat.
So, they just love how he goes, look, sir, I don't want anything of this. Whoop! I slit your throat. He doesn't punch the guy. He doesn't give him a kidney fucking punch. He fucking slits the guy's, just slits the guy's throat. That's it. Like, the guy might want to punch him, but Baz decides it's best just to slit the guy's throat and kill him.
While Sensei Shingles lives his life one samurai sword at a time, Baz doesn't play like that. You see, as any MMA aficionados out there would know, Mr. Rutten is really good at kicking the living snot out of people.
You know what, Humongous? You've mentioned, you say GTA 5 or 4. A lot of people have said that shit, and I never really played those games. I had played like San Andreas or something back in the day. But a lot of people have mentioned how he's got an awesome character, so I'll have to look that up, I think. I'll definitely have to look that up.
You can stab it.
I have seen him in Here Comes the Boom, some guy with a guitar. He was actually good in that. He fucking played the comedic. He actually acted very well. I'd say he's better than fucking Kevin James, if I'm being honest.
Right in front of somebody's face. You can now punch, and you can hit, and you can stab it like this.
I mean, extremely good. Not as good as Big Daddy is at speaking English, but he's good.
When I raise your hand, you go up. When I raise you down, you go down. When I raise you down, you go down. So learning and studying acupuncture, herbology, massage.
I mean,
every
this is what Big Daddy is really about. Just a young girl, either semi or fully naked, just being groped by him. That's what it's all about.
meridian in your body is an organ. Everything is corrected. Everything is connected to your nervous system. Everything is correct.
I don't know how I got away with showing that.
Everything is
little bit of
corrected.
arse there, but
Everything is connected to your nervous system.
like arse
Everything
as
is corrected. Everything is connected.
2 decades ago, Baz decided that pressure point attacks, plus G attacks, could be improved upon with actual useful techniques in real-world situations. And if that wasn't enough, Big Baz adds some quality sound effects and dialogue that makes him a supreme legend in my book.
Brock Lesnar, your boss raised your wage down, huh? Yeah, that sounds like most bosses, mate. Don't worry.
And suddenly, boom, a headbutt. Bang, follow up with a headbutt.
Yeah, you're right, Eric. Henry Winkler's a fucking gun, and I love him anyway. He's hilarious.
Boom, knee to the head, and look what...
Looky what we have here. The corner of a wooden bench that might actually kill someone.
We got here. Smack his face. Dang. I'm probably gonna...
By the way, dangity dang and bang were fucking stalemates in my childhood. Dangity dang. Just the whole dangity dang. The whole fucking dangity. Oh, fucking hilarious. Bang. And you can use the ambiance as he calls it, which is basically any object you can kill someone with.
Bounce his head on the table 10 times or something. Don't you ever do this. Bang.
Don't you ever do this. Bang. I wish I could meet Baz one day. I wonder if he'd let me interview him. Do you reckon 36,000 is enough to get people to...
Don't you ever...
Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Shiny Disciple. Legends. Sensei's the only way, my friends. You know it.
Do this. Bang, bang, bang.
His wazas a little closer to mine. I'm a
white boy.
A brief history about Bas Rutten. I'll keep it short and sweet. He is a Dutch fighter that is a legit lethal weapon. The type of fella you do not want to accidentally piss off on a night out trying to act tough in front of your mates.
I heard was checking you out in a bar and wanted to have you step outside. Was Brian Urlacher of the Chicago Bears?
You're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah, what happened, buddy?
We went to a charity event in Florida. I'm walking around and I step on his toes, kid you not, pushing me. I said, listen, man, I'm really sorry. I didn't know the guy. I mean, this big guy. I look at him and he's drinking a bud or whatever. I said, listen, you want a beer or something? I don't need your beer. I said, listen, normally 3 strikes is out. Please, you got to stop now, man. So I walk away. I mean, it's a charity.
I got to imagine at this point, right, after he's given that guy a few chances, half of Baz probably just wants to be like, you know, diplomatic and not ruin the charity function because it was a charity function. Half of Buzz definitely wants this guy to overstep the mark so he can just grab his knee and put it through the guy's nose. 100%. He might not say it, but I guarantee you part of Buzz inside wants to grab that guy's face and smash it against his shin or his knee.
So he says, you want to take it outside?
Oh, boy.
So my friends and I start laughing, and I say, which was not the...
I don't think Dan Severn would give you his contact info. What's your plan for Dan Severn, mate? You want him to fight Seagal or...
reaction he expected, I guess. And I said, yes. And then the bouncers jumped on him, and I think...
What's that weed story, Humongous? I don't think I've heard that one.
They explained to him who I was, and he came to me and he apologized. And everything was good.
Regardless of how tough you think you are, you're not. Bars would eat you alive, especially in a street fight.
For some reason, didn't get a lot of the love that he so deserves.
He was a pioneer.
Savage.
Yeah, and one of the most, one of the original technical strikers.
Right, taking on dudes way bigger than him and still handling them.
Yeah.
Like, Hoist Gracie is amazing and savage, but he was doing the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was just years later.
Baz is the kind of guy who is standing across from 5 people and smiling at them, knowing there's 5 people he has to fight at one time. That's the kind of guy Baz wouldn't, you know, like it's like in that Jack Reacher, is that what the movie is with Tom Cruise, where he's standing outside going, "Remember, you wanted this. Are you sure you want it?" That's Baz Rutten doing that kind of shit. Like, are you sure you want this, motherfucker? Have you got your insurance up to fucking scratch?
But if Hoist had to
we'll get to the dog story, Kelly. Don't worry.
Fight Bas Rutten, it would have been ugly. People that have been able to, pave the way, like a guy like Bas Rutten.
Yeah.
They were
He's such a good dude,
important.
too. He's so nice.
He's such a savage. He would just shoot cortisone into everything. All of his joints are all fucked up because he would just take cortisone shots, just shoot it into everything. Lidocaine, shoot lidocaine into his shins.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, if I could talk to... Dan Severn was a beast. You know who I'd really love to talk to? Don Fry. If anyone knows Don Fry somehow, but Dan Severn was a beast. I'd love to talk to him. But yeah, Don Fry, I'd love to talk to that guy.
You fucking blast people and not feel anything.
Not feel it.
He's such an animal. He was such an animal. He had amazing stories, though.
Even big-ass dogs need to fear bars.
True or false, you once knocked out a Rottweiler.
Yes, that's true. He lived with us in the house. I lived there with my wife and with the mother as well. And the mother got a new boyfriend, was a sergeant from the army, and he brought a big Rottweiler in home. And on the way over to the dog park, the sergeant is constantly pulling the dog. He has to sit down and look to the left and right. I said, dude, it's a dog. Let the dog be a dog, you know. As soon as we unbuckled him, whop, he grabs the fox terrier in the neck, and he's going. And I'm shouting to him, I said, do something. He's panicking. He goes, no, I don't know what to do. So I walk to the side, and I kick him on the side of his face, and the dog rolls out. Right away, he comes to me, man, hair, boop, goes up, and he goes, rah, and I low kick him, full in the head. And he's gone. And this guy's freaking out now. He thinks I killed his dog. You killed my dog! And I'm looking, and I said, no, he's breathing. The dog wakes up like a long time after. He wakes up, he's all this, he's just like a regular person. And he's looking so, and he sees me, and he goes, and I step forward, and I go, what? And he goes, I'm talking about, I'm not lying, at least 135-pound Rottweiler. It was...
I definitely believe 100% that 130-pound fucking Rottweiler got knocked out by Baz, and then when it woke up, did not want a piece of him ever again. Alright, quick lavatory break, my friends. 1 minute.
His head was this big.
Now, dogs don't have to fear him as much as Sensei Dog Slaughterer, of course, but...
Steven Seagal, the actor turned cop with the reality show, was along for the ride.
Animal cruelty is one of my pet peeves.
That is all the history we need about Buzz, so it's time to thank today's sponsor, all the awesome Seagalians that support this channel. Thank you sincerely for your kind words and support, my friends. You're a bunch of legends who make this all worthwhile.
Couldn't do what I do without you.
If you haven't joined Seagalism yet, it costs nothing and you're basically missing out on being part of an exclusive club. Like Bohemian Grove, minus the effigy burning and creepy people in gowns. So think about liking and subscribing. I would like to give a special shout out to the Patreon members who are diehard Seagalians. Your support is appreciated more than you know. I understand not everyone can or wants to join, so thank you kindly for finding enough value to do so.
We ride together. We die together.
And today's other sponsor is me and this awesome Seagal merch. I'll be giving the entire line an overhaul soon, so grab these bad boys while they are still available because, much like any sensibility in society, you won't be able to find it anywhere anymore. What makes this video the greatest instructional self-defense video ever is Bars himself. Well, yeah, the moves are really handy and something that absolutely everybody can learn something from, but it's all about big bars.
And boom, I'm standing here, and as always, El Guapo is minding his own business. Boom, the right elbow, bang, right straight. Maybe now the headbutt comes, knee to the face, and again, I can throw him against this wall.
I love how he calls himself El Guapo. He doesn't fucking... I love how he gives himself, like he calls himself his own nickname. It's brilliant.
And maybe step back and kick him against the head. Wrong move. Don't do that to El Guapo.
Unlike many of his counterparts, Bars is extremely adept at utilizing his surroundings, or as he loves to say, ambiance.
Smack his face into the ambience of the place.
Firstly, let's all appreciate the funky early 2000 music before we cut to Buzz instantly hitting us with some truth.
You cannot see the glass coming, or the hit, or the base.
Glowing, thanks for coming, brother. I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Any charge? Yeah, definitely, mate. We'll do another live soon for sure.
Bad. Or what about a shin kick in the head?
You talking about Dan Severn, Joker? Or you talking about Chuck, fucking Baz Rutten? Either way, it's still cheap. $50 a month to train with an MMA legend like that is cheap as shit.
Is he drinking a nice little soda? Hey, that's a weapon too, because he can crush it and stab it in your face.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is some real shit. I cannot recommend this video highly enough to anybody who wishes to learn some actual real-life scenario self-defense skills. Or instead, you can learn from this bloke. In Big B's world, everything is a weapon. Some real Jason Bourne kind of shit. We're 4 minutes in, and if you don't already get the vibe that Baz would pound the living snot out of most people on this planet, I'm surprised you made it this far in life. Well, he couldn't beat everyone, obviously.
A colleague of mine is having some issues with his girlfriend. Twice he came up with a fight between Steven Seagal and Boz Fruiten.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's a short answer. Boz Fruiten all the way. I'm sorry, girlfriend, you're wrong. I will slap him, pop, 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 pop in the face, grab his ponytail, maybe a headbutt here and there, and then fold him up. No doubt.
Crockery and seasoning are vital components of repelling your opponents, so pay close attention.
Of course, the pepper and salt underneath the table, and you put the pepper in your hand, you can throw it at him, and then you can attack. The salt thing, nothing really is going to happen, but it's a nice little thing to hold in your hand and punch the guy with. Of course, a nice little play. What can a play do? I can throw it to you again, but I can also break it, and now it's a stabbing device. Oh, look at this. Now, this is a very dangerous weapon right here. This is where they put the receipts on.
Can you all feel the genuine joy and excitement in his voice when he finds the paper stabbing thing? It would be somewhat adorable if it weren't equally terrifying. The scary thing is that you know he has tried all of these moves himself at some point, so they definitely work.
All the technique.
Alright, I'm back. First of all, Kilgore Trout. Yeah, boy. Good to see him, man. And who was that over there? Aaron. Baz is legit, mate. There's no way I'm going to talk shit about Baz. I respect the dude more than most people. He's a fucking savage. And I actually like... Very humble guy. Doesn't want trouble, but if it comes to him, he's going to fuck you up.
That I'm going to show you today, they actually work.
Exactly, Kevin. Exactly, mate. He's the fun kind of crazy. If he's on your side, the guy will have your back. But if you fucking cross him, mate, bad luck for you.
Use them so you can use them too.
When you live a rough and brutal lifestyle, you got to be able to protect yourself. Hey, Big Daddy.
Being outside rocks. Thanks for coming, brother. Appreciate it, my man. Nah, we're not giving up, mate. We're just getting started. They can't stop us. Fuck that shit. We've got too many people here that enjoy this shit. I enjoy making the videos. You guys enjoy watching them. We're good.
Yeah. They don't care. Where I came from, if you did that, somebody will come and kill you the next day. Yeah. They'll come to your dojo or your house and say, it's on right now.
He's talking about in Japan, where apparently people were coming to his house and trying to start fights with him, which is just absolute bullshit. But, you know, Seagal lives in his own world.
One of us is going to live and one of us is going to die. Or one of us is going to be unconscious.
Could you imagine if someone just rocked up to Seagal's house and actually wanted... This goes back to what Michael Jai White was saying, right? Seagal's talking about now people challenging him. Just think about, this is before he was a superstar. So people are just coming to him randomly in Japan, knowing what I know about Japan. I've been there before. Once. Not a lot. But the people, I understand. They're not just going to run up randomly and start fucking attacking Seagal, a foreigner, for no reason. It's like the fucking Yakuza. He's making out like he's fighting with the Yakuza. They would have just fucking chopped his head off and shot him in the face. So, I don't know what he's talking about.
And maybe he'll live and maybe he won't. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Justice and mercy hold no place in Mr. Rudden's world, so be careful not to piss him off in any way. You'll see what I mean later.
I don't believe in an eye for an eye. I believe in 2 eyes for an eye.
Moral of the story, people, don't fuck with Baz Rutten, alright? Otherwise you're going to go blind.
But that's just me.
If I'm being honest, all of this practical, useful and genuinely helpful combat advice is not what people want. Why bother with this when you can just no-touch someone to death?
What do you think of that Jake Paul fella challenging Tyson? That's a good question. I've had a few people ask me that. Obviously, being the Bushido master and having my extensive knowledge of Seagal. I grew up watching Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was... I actually grew up watching a lot of boxers. Going back to Jake Johnson in the early 1900s. I'm talking about Bare Knuckle, Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, Sonny Liston, all those guys. I loved watching all of them. Mike Tyson was a savage. When a Mike Tyson fight was on, you knew shit was going to get real, yeah? You knew someone was going to get knocked out. It was an event. Everyone got together to watch a Mike Tyson fight. He's 57 now. But he's still fucking Mike Tyson. Would I want to get in a ring with... No fucking way would I want to step in a ring with Mike Tyson. Why? Because when that guy trains for a fight, he's a fucking savage and he just goes full ball. Jake Paul, he's 25 years younger, whatever, 30 years younger. He has access to all the greatest trainers, all the greatest steroids, all the greatest everything available to him. So the guy can basically just juice off his tits, he's got all the money in the world. And he'll be training, he would be. Do I think his fitness would be better than Mike Tyson's? Yes, if it goes past 5 rounds. I don't know what Mike's plan is. Is it an exhibition? I heard there's no judges, it's just an exhibition fight where it's kind of just for money, really. If Mike Tyson fucking lands anything on him, Jake Paul's shitting out of a bag for the next few fucking years. But again, man, anything can happen on any fucking day. But I love Mike Tyson.
I don't want the fight to happen. Just in case, on any day, any dog can have its day, and he gets hit by something, I don't want him to go down like that, but I would love to see him just fucking decapitate Jake Paul. That would be fucking awesome. I don't know, what do you guys think? What are you thinking? Sugar Ray Robinson was a gun. I'm not going to argue. Sugar Ray Robinson was a gun. There's heaps of fighters that you could argue were the best pound for pound ever back in the day, right? But right now, I've seen footage of Mike Tyson training at 57, and the guy would still smoke most people, definitely the average person. And Jake Paul's not a professional fighter. He's good. He's better than the average dickhead, but he's not going to jump in there heavyweight or division and win the title. But I don't know, man. Again, anything can happen on any day. Has to be exhibition. Athletic won't allow Tyson. Yeah, I get it. But so it's not really a fight then, is it? Like, have they agreed beforehand that they're going to go full ball, or have they agreed beforehand not to kill each other? Like, what's the plan? Is Mike coming out to take his face off, or is he just coming out to make some money? Jesse on Fire called the fight promoters this week. No rules have been set yet. So are we saying that they're going to fucking... So it's a shit fight, right? It's not really a real fight, or what are we saying here? Roberto Duran. Yeah. Jake Paul versus Steven Seagal. I'd rather see Mike Tyson versus Steven Seagal, and not the China Salesman fight that was bullshit. There's a movie called China Salesman where they did a fight scene together, but they were actually never on the set together. If you look at the fight scenes, it's always stunt doubles. When they're doing their face scenes, the other person's a stunt double. Tyson probably got 2 rounds. I don't know anything about 5, but yeah, he's effed if typing lands. Yeah. Full board, same. You say, Joker, you're saying it's not an exhibition. The rules have been set, but I heard there's no judging, man. So if there's no judging, how do you decide who wins a fight unless it's a knockout? Or am I wrong about that? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thinking it's not really going to be a proper fight. I don't know, because someone was saying before that the commission won't allow it. It's no longer an exhibition fight. It will go on Mike's record. So it's a real fight. So these guys are actually potential. Yeah, Mike Tyson has been many times before. He's been knocked out many times. Okay, so we're saying it's a real fight. If it's a real fight, then Lord help Jake Paul if you can't get past the first 3 to 4 or 5 rounds. I don't know how many rounds. How many minute rounds is it? How many rounds and how many minute rounds? So now everyone's saying 100% exhibition. No. It's no longer an exhibition fight. I don't know. We'll see. 4:30 a.m. Late for work. Enjoy, you fat penguins. Too quick. Take it easy, my man. Alright, so if we're being real about this, it's not really going to be a proper fight, because if it was, and Mike Tyson trained with the mentality that Customato taught him, where he doesn't know how to switch off killing someone. Remember the whole, when he was fighting Roy Jones Jr. and Joe Rogan was scared to have him in the fucking room because he was nuts? If it's at Mike Tyson, there's a problem. Too quick. It's not really a face reveal, mate. The George Diddler video, the George Dillman Diddler video was a face reveal, actually, technically. The promoters set the rules, you say, Joker. Yeah. So the promoters, again, we'll see. Is anyone really thinking? See a drunken zombie. Thanks for coming, brother. Does anyone really think that this is going to be a proper fight, though, where Mike Tyson is going to try and kill Jake Paul and Jake Paul is going to try and kill Mike Tyson? Really? Is that what we think is going to happen? Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate it, brother. It's all good, mate. I've got a good community here to get me through, mate. Keep me positive. Yeah, I can't see it being a real fight. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. He's 57 years old. Insert name here. He's a bit old now, so I can't see them letting him go full ball boxing rules. But who knows? I want Tyson to teach. Yeah, I would like... There's nothing more than I would like to have Jake Paul knock the fuck out. I respect everything he's doing in terms of a business sense. The guy's smart. He's making money. He's notoriety, all that kind of shit. It's great. But in terms of a person, I think he's a piece of shit. I think he talks a lot of trash. How much of it he believes, I don't know. But I believe you are how you carry yourself and what people see of you, yeah? Ultimately, that's all that matters. All the money in the world doesn't change shit if you're a piece of shit. I'll probably have to rate this fight in Dylan's. You know, thanks, Kilgore. You're a bit of a legend yourself, mate. Alright. Yeah, he'll be 58 when he fights, exactly. Fighting a 29-year-old, like, it's just ridiculous. I think the Roy Jones fight and the Tyson fight, they had a mutual understanding to not kill each other because they're both legends who respected each other. That might be a little bit different. Jake Paul's a piece of shit. Mike Tyson's a legend, so they might not have that same kind of preconceived understanding, or prearranged understanding, if you will, of what might take place. So it might be a little bit different, but if it is kind of washed down, then what's the point? It's just to make money. That's all it is. Everything's just to fucking make money anyway. What do you think Seagal's doing? Seagal's not doing what he does because he loves martial arts. He's making money.
Or kill them with a bunch of secret techniques or some other bullshit.
And just as much time as those guys spend trying to dive for your legs and get you, we spend just as much time cutting your head off or knocking you out or ripping your eyes out or ripping your throat out or severing your brainstem when you go down there, because your head and your neck will be vulnerable. I don't care who you are, if you know what we know. Yeah. And then I'll show you some of that stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Zig. I kind of like this shit too, yeah. I don't mind this whole live streaming. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how it works, but, we might set up a live stream where we watch we do a release video together and actually have a bit of a live stream watch. Anything else I come across that I might find interesting Seagal related may be worth watching also. Definitely. By the way, we just noticed that he's on screen right now talking about how those guys go for your legs. Those guys being wrestlers, jiu-jitsu or judo practitioners, go for your legs. And he spends time severing their brainstems and chopping their throats and whatever else. Because, again, he thinks that in a real-world situation, when someone grabs your legs, and I don't know if anyone's been in a wrestle or a fight before, whether it be on a mat or really, if someone comes to go for your legs, you don't just have time to just stand there, set up and puck. They're fucking grabbing you to dump you on your ass. They're not just grabbing your legs and standing there with their neck down. They're grabbing you and dumping you. So there's not just like time where you have time to go whoop and then fucking bang like that. Like it doesn't work like that. Like, I don't know, man. Again, I'm not a martial arts expert. I've just been around a little bit, but maybe I just don't understand it. Oh, that's great. Let's go back to the fart.
Yeah. And then I'll show you some of that stuff. So,
if a bloke comes at you with a knife, sure, you can pretend to be a fat samurai in make-believe demonstrations. Or you can come back to reality and respond accordingly if somebody...
Yeah, sprawling's alright. Sprawling will give you a little bit of time, but while you're sprawling, you're not really just going to have a chance to just chop that person by the fucking brainstem.
He has a knife.
A knife confrontation, I do not want to go, okay? So again, I got to back up and I got to use something and grab this.
Sam, we've done sorry, stop again. I don't want to stop again, but we've done a lot of bullshito videos on this channel, yeah? And you see all these knife defenses are telling you to turn your body. Baz tells you, go grab a fucking object, create some fucking distance, and put some space between you. No fucking around.
And again, I can step because now my reach is longer than his reach.
Remember, these are real-life street fight scenarios, so the consequence...
Yeah, you're right, Joker. The old Ben Askren knee to the face. It wasn't... the old Jorge Masvidal knee to the face to Ben Askren, yeah. But I think that was probably more about him being overly too excited about going for his takedown too early.
Consequences could be life or death. So why not detach a guy's arm from his body?
I'm grabbing the inside of his hand like this. And believe it or not, this is a very strong move. 1, 2, support his elbow, and now...
Hellcock, mate, you must be new around here, mate. Space Ice is a legend around these parts, mate. We all know about Space Ice. I watch his videos. Everyone here does.
I'm going to turn around again so you guys can see what I can do. I can, of course, kick him in the head, but if I really want to be, I can put my knee on and break.
So, again, Baz just says, you can just kick him to the head. That's fine. Or, why not just go all out?
Kick him in the head, but if I really want to be, I can put my knee on and break.
Now, I don't know Baz personally. I only know him from what I've seen in the videos. But I would bet 100% sure that he is going for option 2, breaking that motherfucker's arm and not just kicking him in the face. I don't know. What do you got? Definitely Baz is breaking that guy's arm and then maybe kicking him in the face after he's broken his arm.
The arm.
If that seems overly brutal and unnecessary, perhaps just limit it to stomping on somebody's face.
And now, I know that there are no friends from him around, so I can do a little bit more damage. Right away, the liver is connected here. With your knee on the liver. Of course, you can do the same on the head. You can step over, start hitting him, and of course, can hold the head and just crush with the foot to the face.
And again, I'm sure Baz is probably doing all of these things, but he's definitely grabbing that arm and stepping on that guy's face. There's no way that someone's attacking Baz and he's not grabbing that guy's arm and stepping on their fucking face. I guarantee you right now.
Now, if you happen to find yourself attacked by a black bear or grizzly seagull, be sure to use this move. Sure to dispose of a 600-pound animal or a bear.
Okay, he's bear hugging me, and he's a big guy. He's got me tied. I go this. Breathe in, and now I drop. Boom, elbow, and I will probably go for a single leg takedown, and right away, get up.
It's not only strangers that Baz treats in such a manner. Let's have a listen and see what happened between him and a mate over some drinks.
He was drunk, I was drunk.
Yeah, by the way, this is how Baz Rutten deals with drunk friends of his that are probably overly jovial or excitable or whatever you want to call it. This is how he deals with friends.
And it was all in good play, and he grabbed me from the back, and he started biting in my back. And he was biting through my skin. When I came home, the teeth were through my skin. He grabbed me, and there I told him to let me go. And he didn't let me go. I asked him again. I said, don't bite, don't do it. I stopped pushing his wrist, breaking it, grabbing my own wrist, and now I stepped out. And luckily for me, over here, there was a window. So I thought, let's throw him through the window. I went, whang! And he went through the window, out of the hospital to get some stitches. But like I said, when he came back, we were all friends again.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically standard. When I go out with my mates, what usually happens is I grab a chair, I smash them over the face, and then I kind of grab their face and smash it against the bathroom sink, just to let them know not to tickle me or be too smart. You know, that's how you got to deal with people, just so they don't fuck around. Just like Baz says, if someone messes around with you, you got to throw them through some glass and then come back and have a beer afterwards. I mean,
as with everything, there is a varying scale of destruction that can be inflicted. Ultimately, Big Baz has a heart of gold and protective of things that are precious to him.
He hit your wife or your girlfriend, or maybe he hit your kid, or he loves his dog. Maybe he kicked his dog. So now we are very angry and we don't like it just to take him down.
Don't you love how Baz is equally angry, arguably more angry about his dog being kicked than he is about his wife and kid being assaulted or harassed? If you look at the sequence, he goes with...
So now we are he loves his dog, wife, or your girlfriend.
Gold, and protective of things that are precious.
He's upset about the girlfriend and the wife, but more about the dog.
To him.
He hit your wife, or your girlfriend, or maybe he hit your kid, or he loves his dog. Maybe he kicked his dog. So now we are very angry, and we don't like it just to take him down. No, we want to pay him back because he was hitting something that's very vulnerable to us.
Yeah, we don't just want to body slam him to the ground. We want to fuck him up so he knows not to mess around again.
It's very valuable. Okay, so this is what I would do. I wouldn't hit him in the groin because then maybe he's gonna let you go. It's a possibility you can kick him in the head.
Don't just hit him in the groin, because then all you can do is kick him in the face. That's pathetic, guys. Fucking do it properly, you wankers.
But why not give him a little damage that he's gonna regret for about 5 or 6 months?
5 or 6 months. Not 5 or 6 weeks, 5 or 6 months.
Watch. You lift him up, you're gonna slam him down, bang, and here he is. Grab the knee, grab this, step over, fall backwards, whoop, And now we got an inverted heel hook. And you see, I twist his under leg. Here, I twist it the other way around. It's like a kind of exorcist move. I did this to an opponent in Japan, Takahashi, and I actually broke his shin bone with this move.
Yeah, so basically he's breaking people's shin bones. He's not afraid to tell you that he's done it before to an actual fighter. So he would basically just do it to you at the drop of a hat. I mean, you know, Baz is Baz. Baz is Baz.
Normally, his knee will blow out.
I'm not sure if I've already mentioned.
Normally his knee will blow out, but if you're lucky, it might just tear into bits and you can get up and step on his face. If you're lucky.
This, but Buzz is someone you don't want to f with. Or his wife, or his dog, or his kid. He also believes in tipping and throwing in a little bit extra.
And all because he was hitting my wife. And that's one just came extra.
If somebody calls your wife a tubby bush pig, never fear. Baz will show you how to inflict unnecessarily excessive pain and possibly cripple someone for life.
Was that huge thing you brought in with you, man?
You see how confident this person is? But he sits in a total wrong position. Somebody's telling me.
So, most of you have probably seen the Jason Bourne movie where he's sitting in the booth and I think this is the first movie where he's like, I don't know why I can tell you, but that guy at the counter is 300 pounds and he can handle himself. I don't know why, but there's two people behind me. Blah, blah. So he assesses the situation. I feel like that's what Baz does when he walks into a fucking bar. He assesses the situation and how he can literally destroy people at the drop of a hat.
That about my wife? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm going to break your leg. I'm going to say, listen, fella, this is the thing. See what I'm doing? I'm leaning on his knee, and he is still very confident because he's got his two buddies right here. They're going to jump in at the moment I do something. I grab his toes, and then I'm
glad you enjoyed that, Joker. And as for you, J. Finn, the idiot who does that is an idiot who doesn't know who the fuck Baz Rutten is, clearly. Anybody knew who his wife was, they would not fuck with her.
Gonna go like that. And I promise you that this knee will be shattered.
Now we're going to look at two ways to deal with multiple.
So I love how this guy calls his wife ugly, and Baz just decides to shatter his knee, and then turns his attention to the other bloke, which I didn't put in the video, but he basically roundhouse kicks that guy to the face, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Kicks that guy to the face as well, so just standard shit.
Multiple attackers. First, we're going to look at Sensei Nipple Cripple dealing with multiple attackers with absolute ease.
I mean, what looks more realistic? What Baz was doing or what Seagal's doing? Come on. I mean, when people attack you, they attack you one at a time, and they obviously come at you with their arms out, stretched. I mean, they're not just going to, obviously. Yeah, that's a smart move, Joker. There's nothing wrong with that, mate. Just being prepared. I mean, look at this shit. First of all, I know in the movies you see guys come one at a time, but it's just ridiculous. No one runs at you with their arms outstretched. These people have never been in a fight before. Obviously, a lot of these people have never been in a fight. Fights are very frantic. They're very brutal. All the technique in the world generally goes out the window for the most part if you don't know what you're doing and you can't weather the storm, yeah? Like, none of this shit applies. Yeah, I imagine, Joker, for sure. What's going on here? Oh, I'll put on.
We have two attacks. It could be three, but we have one here, and we have one there at the back of the bar. You want to have them in front of you. Right away, I cannot go for the escape there anymore because he's here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, I'm going to put my back against the wall, or better yet, a corner. So I'm going to run back while they're coming to me. I'm going to go here, 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 and now I face them both. Now at least I can start fighting two guys in one place. Otherwise, I will have one guy here and one guy here, and that is not going to work.
Yeah, Baz, it's going to work for you, bro. Two people against you doesn't mean shit. Two people against the average person, they're fucked. Two people against Baz Rutten, I'm betting my nutsack 10 out of 10 times that Baz Rutten is fucking up those two people. Unless they're two trained MMA fighters in their prime.
I don't know about you, but I prefer the Sensei's easy diving way. Not only do we learn how to fight, but we also learn some simple dispute resolution. Like when someone is upset you took their chair, just deal with it in a calm manner.
Sitting in my seat, man. Okay, this position is not a good position for me. Right away you say, okay, I'm sorry. Bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not.
That's the second person that says something. Are there commercials on this shit or something? Are there or what? I didn't put monetized, and if I did, I'm pretty sure there shouldn't be any fucking commercials other than the start. Why are there commercials?
Okay, so if they do that...
Oh good, Atia, I'll see you around.
You gotta pay him back.
Buzz now has the gumption to make fun of wrist locks, basically implying everything Sensei Pickle Dick harps on about is absolute useless, pointless, improbable, and just plain fat.
I just want to show you this technique. Whether you're gonna use it or not, maybe nobody's gonna grab you by the wrist like that, but hey, if they do, at least you're gonna have a defense.
Even Mike Tyson thinks it's useless faffing that wouldn't even be practical in the real world.
I mean, but what is the purpose? Nobody's gonna mug you, nobody's gonna go like this. Oh, yeah?
So there's a taste of Buzz's self-defense video, and I do, again, highly recommend that everyone go out and watch it, especially for the ladies out there. A few basic moves just to keep you nice and safe. The ultimate takeaway, first and foremost, is that Rutten is not someone you want to get upset or get in a pickle with. That should be evident. His instructional video is a good way to learn some simple, situation-specific moves that could potentially save your life. Not everyone out there sharing information is disingenuous and simply there to make money off other people. Buzz is one of the...
Snake Eagle Master. This guy's one of my favorites. Because he dances while he's fighting, so... Obviously it's near and dear to my heart like Sensei Butterballs.
The most legit martial artists you'll find and respected by martial artists everywhere. Not quite as respected as Sensei Pudgy Gut, but Buzz is pretty well liked.
Steven's, you know, he's an entertainer, and I look at some of the stuff and I can understand he's selling a product. I can't call him a deep martial artist. There are too many martial artists that I really honor and respect, and you know, who live that life of Budo. That you know, I couldn't put him in that same category.
So I went with a change of pace today, my friends, but the next few videos we will be back on track with Big Daddy, including a movie review. I've been getting quite a lot.
By the way, this running scene, there's a lot of other great running scenes, but this running scene has to be one of my fucking favorites, just because of the wrist action. Just watch the wrist action.
Request for a movie recap, but if there's anything you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments. A book review is also in the works at some point.
Can't wait.
And also,
go back.
But the next few videos we will be back on track with Big Daddy, including a movie review. I've been getting quite a lot of requests for a movie recap, but if there's anything you want me to cover...
By the way, President Curtis from Rick and Morty
let me
should not have been in a movie with Steven Seagal that brought him down.
know in the comments. A book review is also in the works at some point, and also a video about the destruction of all these bullshit awards.
Yeah, all good, humongous. I'm going to sign off too, mate. It's been about 3 hours, and the girlfriend is probably waiting for me to go pick her up from the condo around the corner at her friend's place, so I better get the fuck out of here. Legends, I greatly appreciate you all. Thank you so much. This was fun. I hope you'll all come back for another one, because I definitely want to do these. I'm thinking we do this once a week. We have a bit of a watch-along on a Sunday night. Why not? If you guys have got a better suggestion for the time, let me know. I don't know what time is good for you guys. I'm trying to do it mainly for the US, because most of my subscribers and Seagalians are from the US, so I would always try and tee it up for you guys. But yeah, thank you all for watching today, guys. Greatly appreciated. It's good, nice to see you all and chat with you all live. Fuck, you guys are cracking me up. But yeah, until next time, I've got a video coming out soon about a Japanese game show where they basically tortured someone. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may not have. We've got Bushido coming, another Sensei movie review. We're going back to when he sits on his ass and doesn't do fucking anything, and his stunt double does everything. So, but until then, thank you all very much. Joker Lokerson and those that contributed to Super Thanks, I thank you all. Anyone for watching, Patreon members, You're all legends. I couldn't do it without you, and especially right now through this tough time, your support means more than anything. Thank you all, my friends, and it was awesome. Chat soon, yeah? Thanks, legends.